on the near left sideline. They're going to put him out of bounds a yard short up at the 30-40-yard line. That's a 6-yard gain. It'll be 3rd and 1 for Pittsburgh. And the Steelers, a team that has gotten a lot better. You talk about since the bye, Mike, 52% on third down, second best in the NFL.
Yeah, they've been doing a great job of putting themselves in good position on these third downs. 3rd and 1 is a great spot for an offense.
Steelers out of the huddle will go with Harris as the single back. Pickett puts his hands under center, wings left and right, no wide receivers. Here's the snap. Pickett's going to hand it off to Watt, the fullback, up the middle, and he's got the first down. So Derek Watt, who was lined up as a wing to the left, came underneath to take that hand up and plunging in between the hash marks, picks up 3. After the 37-yard line, it's a first down run. Brent Urban in there for Calais Campbell made the tackle.
It's two teams where you will mention the fullback occasionally. Watt for Pittsburgh and Ricard, the over 300-pound fullback for the Baltimore Ravens.
Yeah, Patrick Ricard, he's going to the Pro Bowl this year. Good time in his career, he's going to the Pro Bowl. Steelers will go out of the eye here. Slot to the right. Harris is the single back. Pickett with his hands under center. Takes the snap. Here's a give to Harris. Bouncing outside the left hash. Up across the 40-yard line. And he body surfed his way out to about the 42. Patrick Queen, the leading tackler for the Ravens on the stop. That's a gain of 6. And that'll bring up 2nd down and 4.
As I said, this is going to be a running game on both sides. And, when Ben Roethlisberger first came in the league, they were better when he was throwing like 17, 18 times a game. Not when he was throwing, 30, 35 times a game. And that's the same for Kenny Pickett, who threw a lot of interceptions earlier in the year when he was starting because of all the passes he had to throw.
Ball to Steelers' 43-yard line, 2nd down and 4. Slot right, single man left, shotgun snap to Pickett, fakes the handoff, swings it right side, caught by Sims outside the numbers, and he's wrapped up and dropped as he dives out to the 45-yard line. Stevens was the first guy that hit him, and Chuck Mark finished him off. Gain of a couple of yards, another 3rd and short coming up now. 3rd down and about 2 for Pittsburgh.
So we had a 3rd and 1, now a 3rd and 2. I like the play call so far. You've had a couple of runs. You've had a rollout throw to the tight end, a quick hitch out to the wide receiver, mixing it up early.
Jalen Warren, the rookie out of Oklahoma State, checks in at running back. He'll line up to Pickett's right, Pickett back in the shotgun. 2 receivers left, single man to the right. Pickett walks towards the line of scrimmage, drops back into the gun, lifts his right leg twice. Now stands up, lifts that right leg again. Slate bent at the waist, takes the snap, back to pass. Pickett looking, slides left, under pressure, throws right side. That's caught by Warren. First down across the 50. Angles left to the Baltimore 45. Kenny Pickett given time in the pocket, sat in and finds Jalen Warren for a gain of 10. Roquan Smith on the stop, but another first down for the Steelers.
Jalen Warren at first staying in to block to see if any extra rushers were going to come. It was just 4, so he went out to the route. Ended up being a great bailout for Pickett.
Opening drive of the ball game. Steelers in Ravens territory at the Baltimore 45, 1st and 10. Steelers will go with trips left. Warren is the single back. Pickett under center. Miles Boykin goes in motion from left to right. Here's the snap. Handed off Warren running outside the left hash, and not much there. Runs into a wall of black jerseys. Gain of about a yard to the 44-yard line. And that'll bring up a 2nd down and 9.
As I said, Pittsburgh's been running the ball well, and Baltimore good against the run. Just keep doing it. Even if you get a yard like that, you just got to keep at it, because that's been your offense. Don't start changing.
Looks like Rashad Nichols, the guy just off the practice squad that made that tackle for the Ravens. 2nd down and 9 as we tick down inside 11 minutes to go in the opening quarter. 2 receivers to the right, Pickett under center. Harris back in as the single back. Here's the snap, handed off to Warren on a jet sweep, racing left outside the numbers across the 40, 35, 30, down the sideline, 25, 20, stutter step to the 15, inside the 10, and finally pulled out of bounds. They'll say that he stepped out back around the 13-yard line. Marcus Williams made the tackle. Warren lined up in the right slot, came in motion. They handed it off to him, and he scampers around left end for 19.
Excellent job getting the corner. Kyle Hamilton would have had a shot, but as he was trying to shoot through, he tripped over one of his own players. He would have had a free shot on Warren. He tripped, fell down, and Warren had all kinds of room.
Gunnar Olszewski with that block on the outside. Steelers down with a 1st and 10. 2 receivers to the right. Pickett under center. Takes the snap. Handed off Harris running outside the left hash. And Harris down to about the 10-yard line. Travis Jones, the 3rd rounder out of UConn with the tackle. It's a gain of 3. And that'll bring up 2nd down and 7.
Again, a nice mix-up of plays right now and running backs, quite honestly, as well, with Warren and Najee Harris and what they're doing. And wouldn't be surprised, again, to see a little play-action, quick pass, get the ball out of Kenny Pickett's hands if it's not going to be a run.
Second down and 7 from the 10. Ball is on the near side, left hash. Steelers looking for points on their opening drive. They'll go with trips to the right. Freiermuth, the tight end, on the left end of the line. Taken under center. Harris to single back. Here's a give to Harris. Hops over the pile, working his way forward down inside the 5 to the 4-yard line. Roquan Smith on the stop. Pickup of about 6 yards on that run. And now third down coming up here for the Steelers.
So you look at, they're going quick.
Pickett's going to line up with his hands under center. Harris to single back, and Pickett driving straight ahead. And it looks like Kenny Pickett has got the first down. Needed to get right to that 3-yard line, and it looks like he was able to drive straight ahead and pick it up.
So think about the 3 third downs, 3rd and 1, 3rd and 2, and 3rd and 1 here. So, again, extremely manageable. We saw 3 different plays on each of those third downs, and this time Pickett just drops his head and gets that yard.
Urban and Smith combine on the stop. It is a first down run for Kenny Pickett. First and goal. Ball's at the 3-yard line. Pickett under center. Harris is the single back. 2 tight ends left, single to the right. Pickett changing something at the line of scrimmage. Crowd making noise. Play clock down to 5. Pickett hands under center. Waits, takes the snap. He's going to hand it off, and they're going to blow it dead. There was movement up front by the Steelers before the snap.
False start. Offense, number 88. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
And Clark is our referee tonight. Pat Freiermuth is the man who moved early on the left end of the line. Just came up out of that stance about a split second before the snap.
It had been a great drive up to this point, and again, the mental mistakes like that and mental penalties, that gets the coaches the most like that. That's something you can easily control. If you get beat physically, fine, but a mental mistake is tough to take.
So they'll move it back to the 7-yard line. First and goal from there. 3 receivers, bunch to the right. Pickett in the gun with Harris to his left. Here's the snap. Pickett back, looks right, nothing there. Looks left, under pressure, flush that side, throws, and it is incomplete. Was trying to get it to Najee Harris on the sideline around the 2-yard line. Roquan Smith was in coverage. It'll be second and goal from the 7.
It was a smart play. He was just looking to make something out of it. He threw it back shoulder to Najee Harris, and either Najee was going to get it or nobody was. That was a smart play. It was either that or he was going to have to throw it away. Najee looked like he should have had it.
Roquan Smith, the former Bear, picked up by the Ravens in a trade, and boy, since he showed up, the Baltimore defense has gotten even better.
It's got to have a million tackles.
He is one of those guys that is everywhere. Plays the run, plays the pass. He can do it all. Pickett under center on second and goal. 3 receivers bunched right. Here's the snap. Pickett will give it to Harris. Starts right. Cuts back left between the hash marks. Working inside the 5-yard line. And he's down to about the 3. And now a third and goal for the Steelers from there.
So now you're back to your original line of scrimmage. Would have been first and goal from the 3. I bet they would have tried that play first on first down, but the penalty made it at the 8-yard line, so they threw it. So let's see what they want to do here. You want to play a little power, or you want to play a little power play action?
Ball at a gain of 5 down to the 2. Third down and goal. Steelers changing personnel. Ravens will match up. Play clock running at 13. Steelers out of the huddle up to the line of scrimmage. Officials will hold, but Baltimore get matched up. Play clock at 7. Fans on their feet. Pickett in the gun. 4 receivers left. Single man right. Pickett lifts his right leg. Takes the snap. Looks right. Throws the fade. Right corner of the end zone. Incomplete. Trying to get it to Pickens, and Brandon Stevens broke it up. Now they left Pickens out there all by himself on an island against Stevens, and Brandon Stevens going high helped swat it away from Pickens. It's fourth down, and the field goal team is coming out.
6-3 against 6-1. Stevens did a great job of keeping his hands and eyes on the receiver and then looking back for the ball right at the end. Excellent coverage.
Chip shot coming up for Chris Boswell. Missed 5 games this year on IR. Boswell 15 of 22 on the season. This will be an attempt from 21 yards. It'll come in between the hash marks. Here's the snap. Ball is down. The kick from Boswell is on the way, and it is good. So the Steelers get points on their opening drive, but they settle for 3. With that field goal, and every field goal made tonight throughout the remainder of the season, Barbasol will make a donation to Kurt and Brenda Warner's Treasure House, a living community for adults with disabilities. Barbasol Shaving Cream, an American original for over 100 years. Close Shave America, Close Shave Barbasol. 7:01 to go here in the first quarter. The Steelers 3, the Ravens will have it when we come back. This is Westwood One's coverage of the National Football League.
My milkshake brings all the boys to the yard, and they're like, it's better than yours.
Spilled your milkshake? Quick, the quicker picker upper. Bounty picks up spills quicker. And each sheet is 2 times more absorbent, so you can use less than the leading Ordinary brand. So you can get back to your milkshake.
My milkshake brings all the boys to the yard, and they're like, better than yours.
Bounty, the quicker picker-upper.
So I switched to Boost Mobile and got this free Samsung Galaxy A23 5G phone.
Why do you think they call it the Galaxy?
Maybe because the Samsung Galaxy A23 has a huge screen, and galaxies are huge gravitationally bound systems of stars rotating around a supermassive black hole.
And the phone is free?
When you switch to Boost Mobile.
Cool. You lost me at gravitationally bound.
Switch to Boost and get a free Samsung Galaxy A23 5G phone. Boost Mobile. Unleash your power. Limited time offer while supplies last. New customers only. Excludes tax. One device offer per line. Only available on certain networks. 5G not available everywhere. Additional restrictions apply. See your local Boost Mobile store for details.
Here's the Prilosec OTC. Without Prilosec, I wouldn't be able to enjoy all this yummy holiday food. Speaking of, whoever made that apple pie, delicious. I just take one pill each morning and zero heartburn all day. So cheers to Prilosec OTC. Ooh, are those jalapeno poppers?
Prilosec OTC prevents excess acid that can cause heartburn, so you can enjoy the holidays. 1 pill a day, 24 hours, zero heartburn. It's possible while taking Prilosec OTC. Use as directed for 14 days to treat frequent heartburn, not for immediate relief.
So I switched to Boost Mobile and got this free Samsung Galaxy A23 5G phone.
Why do you think they call it the Galaxy?
Maybe because the Samsung Galaxy A23 has a huge screen, and galaxies are huge gravitationally bound systems of stars rotating around a supermassive black hole.
And the phone is free?
When you switch to Boost Mobile.
Cool. You lost me at gravitationally bound.
Switch to Boost and get a free Samsung Galaxy A23 5G phone. Boost Mobile. Unleash your power. Limited time offer while supplies last. New customers only. Excludes tax. One device offer per line. Only available on certain networks. 5G not available everywhere. Additional restrictions apply. See your local Boost Mobile store for details.
The 2023 NFL playoffs are almost here. Witness the most exciting part of the season live in person. Tickets to all playoff games are available now. Visit NFL.com/tickets to purchase your ticket today. Well, the Steelers get points on their opening drive. 21-yard field goal from Chris Boswell caps off a 15-play, 73-yard drive. Steelers looking for the end zone, but they'll take the 3, Mike, in a game that might come down to that.
Yeah, without, 9 runs and 5 passes on that drive, and that penalty, 5-yard penalty hurt, and they could have just run the ball in, I would have thought.
Justice Hill back to return the Boswell kick. End over in boot. Hill's going to have a chance. He's got it to the 1, coming out across the 5, down to the 10. Far side numbers 15 to the 20, lane to the 25. And he is pulled down at about the 27-yard line. Tackle made on special teams after a 25-yard return. And George Pickett getting down there on special teams, or Connor Hayward, rather, getting down on special teams to make that tackle for the Steelers. So here is the Ravens offense for the first time. Under the direction of Tyler Huntley. Huntley making his 4th consecutive start in place of Lamar Jackson. He's thrown for 528 yards, a touchdown, and 2 picks. J.K. Dobbins, Gus Edwards are the running backs. DeMarcus Robinson, Deshaun Jackson, Sammy Watkins, the wide receivers. As to give to Dobbins on first down. He takes it outside left and picks up 3 out to the 30-yard line before he got absolutely cracked by Isaiah Loudermilk. It'll be 2nd down and 7.
Yeah, that was a hit right there. So when Huntley started 3 games ago, the first start when Lamar Jackson was out, and they beat Pittsburgh in that game, he threw the ball 12 times. They ran the ball 42 times. So I don't know if it'll be that big of a split tonight, but it'll still be positive in the run aspect.
2nd down, 7 from the 30. Huntley is in the gun. He's got receivers left and right. Hands in front of his chest, takes the snap, back to pass, looks left, throws left. That one is caught by Andrews, the tight end, and he's close to a first down. Needed to get to the 37. It might have him just short. Mark Robinson and Terrell Edmonds combine on the stop. And they are going to say that's a first down. So they'll give him progress to the 37-yard line. A gain of 7 on the toss to Andrews, the 50-year tight end out of Oklahoma, his 65th catch of the year.
A couple of weeks ago, I did the Browns when they were playing the Baltimore Ravens, and it took forever for Mark Andrews to get involved in the game. So I'm glad to see it came very, very early in this one.
Well, Andrews, 5 touchdown catches on the year. He has not had one in 8 straight games, the longest touchdown drought of his career. 1st and 10 Ravens at their own 37. Huntley is in the gun. 2 receivers to the right. Here's a handoff on first down. It's J.K. Dobbins, and he doesn't find much room at all. Maybe got back to the line of scrimmage. DeMarvin Leal, the 3rd rounder out of Texas A&M, on the stop. And that'll bring up a 2nd down and long.
So I talked about how good Baltimore is against the run, and as I mentioned, Pittsburgh is pretty good as well. Pittsburgh is 6th against the run, so these are 2 very good run-stuffing teams, and we've seen that early on.
No gain on the play. 2nd down and 10 for the Ravens. Clock moving, 5:09 to go in the first quarter. 3-0 Steelers on top. First time the Ravens have had the ball. Gus Edwards in the ball game and running back now. Lines up to the right of Huntley, who's in the gun. 3 receivers right, single man left. Huntley sends Edwards in motion out to the left, takes the snap, pumps left, steps up, moving to his right. Huntley looking, he's going to tuck it and run across the 40 out to the sideline 45, and he's out of bounds, close to a first down. Huntley was staring at that first down marker, trying to tightrope the sideline and get there. Levi Wallace eventually knocked him out of bounds right at the sticks.
Well, a great job by Demarcus Robinson, the wide receiver out there, recognizing his quarterback was going to run and just stayed on his block. And Huntley just ran right behind him past the sticks for the first down. Nice job by that wide receiver.
Yeah, he got right there, a 10-yard pickup for Huntley. And it'll be 1st and 10 for the Ravens now at their own 47 with the ball on the near side right hash. Single receiver splits out to the left. Huntley will go under center. Multiple tight ends in the game for the Ravens. Dobbins is the single back. They'll give to Dobbins. He runs left to the numbers. Dobbins ducks his shoulder, and he plows into the Pittsburgh defense right around that line of scrimmage. Robert Spillane, the veteran, makes the stop. 2nd down and long coming up again here for Baltimore. Look, if you like wide open, chuck the ball all over the place offense, this is not the game for you. This game is going to be played in the phone booth.
This is absolutely right. And when you were a non-athlete like me, this is the kind of game I like. When the ball stayed close to me. But these guys are hitting out here. This is without question a very pride-filled game.
No gain on the play. 2nd down and 10 Ravens from their own 47. Huntley up under center, 2 receivers right. Dobbins is the single back. Here's the snap. Huntley back on a play fake. Sets his feet. Now moving right. Being chased. Huntley's going to take off and run across the 50. He gets grabbed up around the neck by Spillane and dropped in Pittsburgh territory at the 49-yard line. That'll be a pickup of about 4. And now a 3rd and 6 coming up for the Ravens.
That's 2 times now that Huntley has gotten the edge to the right. There was really no outside rusher for Pittsburgh that time. T.J. Watt was not out there. And they had a backer that side who dropped off into coverage, so Huntley got the corner again pretty easily.
Ravens 42% on 3rd down this year, 11th in the NFL. This is 3rd and 6. They've got it to the Pittsburgh 49. Trips left, single man right. Justice Hill in the game in the backfield to the right of Huntley, who's in the gun. Here's the snap. Huntley back, looks left, throws left, got Andrews, makes the catch, turns it up, dives, and looks like he's got the first down. Terrell Edmonds, the safety, was in coverage. Andrews fighting for the sticks, and now it looks like maybe they got him just short.
Yeah, his knee hit the ground. He was definitely short. I think that's a good mark right here, as you're going to hear a booing from the crowd. But there's absolutely no doubt what Baltimore's doing here. They're going for it on 4th down.
Fans are booing. They, like me, thought that Andrews got past the first down marker. And the replay on the big board has not convinced them otherwise, but right now they've got it with 4th and a yard. And I think John Harbaugh is going to challenge.
Now, I did see his knee hit the ground, but it's going to matter where was the ball when his knee hit the ground. His knee definitely hit before the first down marker, but where was the ball?
John Harbaugh has dropped the red challenge flag.
Ruling on the previous plays being challenged by Baltimore will be reviewed.
Well, they're going to take a look to see if Andrews made the line to game. This Close Shave Instant Replay review sponsored by Barbasol Shaving Cream. Choose Barbasol Shaving Cream for a thick lather and close, comfortable shave. Barbasol, the American original for over 100 years. Better by Barbasol. 2 minutes, 14 seconds to go here in the first quarter. Steelers lead the Ravens 3-0. You're listening to Sunday Night Football on Westwood One.
And now a message from Puffs Plus Lotion Tissues. Ordinary tissues can leave you with a red nose, so choose Puffs Plus Lotion for all of your blows. Puffs have lotion to soothe sensitive skin, so you can wipe without wincing. It's a win-win. Puffs have cushiony thickness, which brings relief too, so the days of sore red noses are gone and through. When you're after soothing softness, a nose in need deserves Puffs indeed.
Wireless headphones. That'll be $200.
I'll use my Capital One Quicksilver card.
Now that's a hit. You used the Capital One Quicksilver card, which makes you the hero of every purchase. With Quicksilver, you earn unlimited 1.5% cash back on every purchase everywhere.
I wanted running music, but unlimited 1.5% cash back is pretty heroic.
Good instincts. Every hero needs a theme song. The Capital One Quicksilver card. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
So I switched to Boost Mobile and got this free Samsung Galaxy A23 5G phone.
Why do you think they call it the Galaxy?
Maybe because the Samsung Galaxy A23 has a huge screen, and galaxies are huge gravitationally bound systems of stars rotating around a supermassive black hole.
And the phone is free?
When you switch to Boost Mobile.
Cool. You lost me at gravitationally bound.
Switch to Boost and get a free Samsung Galaxy A23 5G phone. Boost Mobile. Unleash your power. Limited time offer while supplies last. New customers only. Excludes tax. One device offer per line. Only available on certain networks. 5G not available everywhere. Additional restrictions apply. See local Boost Mobile store for details.
Ryan Radke and Mike, the replay guru Golick here at the Grainger broadcast booth in Baltimore. For all the jobs you do, count on Grainger. For supplies and solutions that help you get more done, call clickgrainger.com or stop by one of over 250 Grainger branch locations.
Somebody tallied this up for me, Ryan. In my 15 years of doing games, I'm 245 out of 245 correct on replays, and I am going to say here that he got the first down.
245 out of 245.
Yep. I didn't do that. Somebody did it for me.
Yeah, and that person would be?
My son.
Oh, yeah. There's no chance your son said you're perfect. Mm-hmm. Here's Land Clark with the call.
After reviewing the play, the ruling is the runner didn't make the first down. Clock operator, please reset for 2 minutes and 47 seconds. 2, 4, 7.
Well, Mike, it was awfully close, but it did look on the replay like that ball was right at the sticks before Andrews' knee hit the ground.
Yep, just reach it out in time. Good replay, good call. There was a good angle on one of the replays going straight down that line.
So, John Harbaugh wins the challenge, and the Ravens will have it first down and 10 at the Steelers' 43. They trail 3-0. 2 minutes, 44 seconds to go here in the first quarter. Ravens will go on the pistol formation. Dobbins is the back behind Huntley. Single receiver split out wide to the left side. 2 tight ends right. Huntley walks up to the line of scrimmage, puts his hands under center now, takes the snap, tosses it to Dobbins, running left, outside the numbers, looking for a lane. He'll push his way forward for a couple of yards. DeMarvin Leal gets out there to run him out of bounds after a short pickup, racing out to the left sideline. And now second down coming up here for the Ravens after a gain of a yard, 2nd and 9.
I love these kind of games, Ryan. I mean, every yard is so hard fought for. I mean, and there's going to be some punishing. We've already seen a couple of them, punishing hits. This is a fun game to watch.
Officially call it a gain of 2, 2nd down and 8. Steelers changing defensive personnel as the Ravens get out of the huddle. Baltimore will stack 2 receivers to the left, including Andy Isabella just up off the practice squad. Single man to the right. Here's the snap. Huntley back to pass. Looks, throws left side. Nearly intercepted. Diving attempt by Cameron Sutton. He almost picked it off. Receiver came in. Pass went out. DeMarcus Robinson was the intended target, and Sutton nearly had a pick. It would have been his 4th of the year.
Yeah, you said it perfectly. Receiver went in, pass went out. So just miscommunication there. And that could have been pick there. It wouldn't have been a pick 6. He was on the ground where they had to get up and would have got caught. But would have been great field position. Yeah, just miscommunication.
So now 3rd down and about 9. In case you're wondering, Justin Tucker going this way in warm-up did kick a 60-yard field goal. And now we've got a whistle. Looks like the Steelers are going to take a timeout.
Timeout. Pittsburgh. The first of the half. It'll be 30 seconds in length.
So the Steelers call time with 1:49 to go in the first quarter before this 3rd down and long play, 3rd down and 8.
And I think something to really get out there, this is a division game. When you play in division games, there's not a lot of get cute. And there really isn't a lot of get cute with these 2 teams anyway. You know them. You know the personnel. You kind of know the game plans. A lot of it is just studying the guy you're playing against because you play against them a lot and what their tendencies and techniques are. And there could be a couple of wrinkles. You maybe want to throw one in there, a wacky play on either side of the ball. But for the most part, the personnel know each other so well, it's really just a matter of you got to win that one-on-one and win that execution.
Yeah, remember these 2 teams played just a couple of weeks ago, Week 14 at Pittsburgh, and the Ravens ended up winning that ball game by a score of 16-14. So a 3rd down and 8 now from the 41-yard line. Huntley will line up in the shotgun. He's got 4 receivers to the right, single man to the left. Huntley takes the snap, back to pass, looking to his right side, throws right side. Robinson wide open, makes the catch right around the sticks, trying to drive his legs forward. He's got the first down. Minka Fitzpatrick was the first man there, but on 3rd down and 8, Huntley hooks up with Robinson and moves the sticks for the Ravens.
Here's what I like about that, Ryan, is how many times do you see a pass like this and you're a yard short? Run to the sticks or beyond, so if you have to come back, you're still at the first down, and that's exactly what he did. He was right at the sticks, caught it, was able to get the first down. Too many times you see the receiver come up short because they get too anxious to break out of their route.
8 and 8, got 9, 1st and 10 Ravens at the Steelers 32. Ball is on the near side right hash. Single receiver split wide to the left. Pistol formation. Huntley waits, takes the snap. He's going to hand it off. Dobbins running between the hash marks across the 25 down to the 20. And he works his way inside the 18-yard line. That's going to be a first down. Levi Wallace on the stop. It's a gain of 14. J.K. Dobbins finding room in between the tackles.
Oh, they love pulling the backside. Zeitler and Morgan Moses, a right guard and right tackle, both pulled. Great job. One guard kicks out, tackle turns up, kicks out, and running back has a huge hole.
So the Ravens now in the red zone. This is a place they have struggled mightily this year. They've scored touchdowns on 46% of their red zone drives. That's 30th in the league. This is 1st and 10, ball to 17, shotgun snap. Huntley fakes the handoff, runs left across the 15, and he dives his way down to the 13-yard line. That'll be a gain of 4 on that run by Huntley. Fitzpatrick on the stop. It'll be 2nd down and 6 with the clock ticking down inside 10 seconds to go with the first quarter. And the Ravens are going to start to make the walk over to the sideline. And we have reached the end of the first quarter here at M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore. With the score, the Steelers 3, the Ravens nothing. You're listening to Sunday Night Football on Westwood 1.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? Starting trouble. No one likes that. We'll get you set up for some stronger starts. You might just need a fresh charge, and we'll take care of that free of charge. But if it is time for a new battery, we've got replacement batteries that'll fit your needs, starting at just $79.99. You can learn more about our battery selection at AutoZone.com. That's what makes us America's #1 battery destination.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Claim based on data from the NPD Group 2021.
Disney Plus and Hulu better together in a brand new bundle.
Ready for an adventure?
The greatest stories ever told on Disney Plus with The Mandalorian and Disenchanted.
That's wicked. Wicked good.
Critically acclaimed fan favorites on Hulu like Pam and Tommy and The Bear.
Let's take it up another level.
Save big when you bundle both for just $9.99 a month.
We're so good together.
All of these and more now streaming. Savings compared to regular monthly price of each service. 18 and over only. Access content from each service separately. Offer valid for eligible subscribers only. Terms apply. See DisneyBundle.com for details.
Welcome back to Baltimore, Maryland, along with Mike Golick. I'm Ryan Radke. Our score after 15 minutes of play is the Steelers 3 and the Ravens nothing. Start of the second quarter is sponsored by the Disney Bundle, Disney Plus, Hulu, and ESPN Plus. Get Disney Bundle plans starting at $12.99 a month. Offer valid for eligible subscribers only. Terms apply. See DisneyBundle.com for details. Well, Mike, I would say that was the first 15 minutes like we expected. A lot of runs, a lot of short throws. One possession each for the Steelers and the Ravens. The Ravens isn't even over yet.
To be continued into the second quarter. 15-play drive, including the field goal for Pittsburgh. And Baltimore's already run 12 plays as they have the ball now on the 13-yard line trying to finish off their first drive. At this point, it'll still be light out by the time the game's over.
78 yards for Pittsburgh in that first quarter, 60 on the ground. 60 yards for the Ravens in the first quarter, 38 on the ground. And Tyler Huntley looking pretty good, Mike. He's got protection. He's been on target with his throws, and we've also seen him use his legs. You mentioned not the runner Lamar Jackson is, nobody is, but he is making some plays in that respect.
And we know what this team is when Lamar's out there and running the ball. One of the best, if not the best, rushing team in the league. And Huntley can do that, as you mentioned, and we talked about not to Lamar's stature, but enough to be dangerous with it, enough at least to be a threat to the defense. And that's one of the big things you want to put forward is, hey, I'm a threat to run the ball. You have to account for me in the running game.
3 carries, 18 yards for Huntley in that first quarter. Also 3 of 4 through the air for 22 yards. Injury update for the Steelers. James Pierre, their corner in the locker room, being evaluated for a head injury. So the Steelers down one of their corners, James Pierre, who is a cousin of Lamar Jackson, by the way. Lamar over on the Ravens sideline watching his guy, Tyler Huntley. Those two guys really close. Huntley has talked about what a great help Lamar has been for him in game when he comes off the field, talking about what he sees in certain situations. Always nice to have that guy to help you out.
Oh, it sure is. I mean, extra set of eyes checking it out.
Ravens continue this first drive. Moving from our right to our left now. 2nd down and 6. Ball to Steelers 13. Huntley is in the gun. He's got Edwards to his left. Here's the snap. Huntley hands off on the jet sweep. Isabella running left. Breaks one tackle, but not another. Swallowed up by Alex Highsmith. Robert Spillane also helped out. Gain of 2 yards down to the 11-yard line. And now 3rd down coming up. It'll be 3rd down at about 4 for the Ravens.
Edmonds there. The first one to kind of slow him up. Kind of an arm tackle that he ran through, but slowed him up enough for all his friends to show up.
Andy Isabella with his first carry of the year, the former Cardinal. Released by the Cardinals in October. Ravens picked him up. He's been on the practice squad. Made his Baltimore debut last week. So third down, about 4.5 now. Ravens will go with two receivers right, two to the left. Huntley is in the gun with Justice Hill to his right. Sammy Watkins in short motion for the right. Here's the snap. Huntley back, looking left, lobs it left, back in the end zone, incomplete. Trying to find Deshaun Jackson. Pretty good coverage by Arthur Millette, the nickelback, running with Jackson across the back line of the end zone. And on fourth down, Justin Tucker and the field goal team coming out.
Excellent coverage. Excellent coverage there. Right on him, just, again, right at the end, looking back for the ball. A lot of times DBs will get themselves in trouble for not looking bad. Throw was a little bit off, but it had to be right on to be a completion because of the coverage.
So Justin Tucker on for a 30-yard attempt. Tucker second in the NFL in scoring this year, number one in field goals made with 32. In his career, from 30 to 39 yards, he is 104 for 107.
That's pretty good.
Not bad. Tucker ready. Jordan Stout, the punter, will hold. Snap is perfect. Ball is down. The kick is up, and it is good. So Justin Tucker converts, and we are tied with 14:09 to go here in the second quarter. Steelers and Ravens tied at 3. This is Westwood One's coverage of the National Football League.
So I switched to Boost Mobile and got this free Samsung Galaxy A23 5G phone.
Why do you think they call it the Galaxy?
Maybe because the Samsung Galaxy A23 has a huge screen, and galaxies are huge gravitationally bound systems of stars rotating around a supermassive black hole.
And the phone is free?
When you switch to Boost Mobile.
Cool. You lost me at gravitationally bound.
Switch to Boost and get a free Samsung Galaxy A23 5G phone. Boost Mobile. Unleash your power. Limited time offer while supplies last. New customers only. Excludes tax. One device offer per line. Only available on certain networks. 5G not available everywhere. Additional restrictions apply. See your local Boost Mobile store for details.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit beefy, and you may even have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Call Term Provider. Speak with Big Lou at 800-444-9336. Big Lou will find a term life policy for you even if you have type 2 diabetes, are overweight, or have high blood pressure. Term Provider has helped thousands of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance. To buy $1 million of affordable term life for you, all you need to do is call Big Lou at 800-444-9336. Lou will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Call 800-444-9336. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too. For affordable term life, call 800-444-9336.
For everything your business needs to make this year your year, Staples has you covered.
I need to organize all my papers and files from last year and the year before that.
Staples has you covered.
I need to clear clutter from my office, and my home office, and my home.
Staples has you covered with everything you need to get organized this year at amazing savings. Right now at Staples, get up to 50% off select file folders, file cabinets, file boxes, and storage bins. Make this year your year at Staples, the working and learning store. Ends 1/28 in-store only.
Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. This is Westwood One, your home for Sunday Night Football.
WFAN, WFAN FM, WFAN FM HD1, New York. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
Tune in to watch all the excitement of the NFL next Sunday on CBS. Check your local listings for games and times in your area. Catch the NFL on CBS. Along with Mike Golick and the rest of our great Westwood One crew, Ryan Radke with you here in Baltimore. Happy New Year. Great to have you along for Week 17. 3-3 ball game as Justin Tucker hits an end-over-end kick. Sims moving to his right. We'll let this one sail over his head. Bounce a couple of yards deep in the end zone. And we'll see the Steelers offense for the second time. So Pittsburgh, 15-play drive. The Ravens say, we can do that. 15-play drive for them, and a Tucker field goal ties it up, Mike.
Well, the defense gets rested anyway, right? When you're sitting on the bench after 15 plays. You're out there a long time, but you get a break when the other team goes 15 plays. Let's see where this goes. It was a good first series, obviously, by both. Let's see how they follow it up.
First and 10, Steelers at their own 25. Kenny Pickett under center with Najee Harris to single back. Three receivers to the right. Deontay Johnson now in motion to the left. Sprints back out to the right. Pickett takes the snap. Handoff Harris. Starts right. Jump cut between the hash marks. Makes his way out to the right side again. And he's out to the 30-40 yard line. A gain of 9 for Najee Harris on first down. Roquan Smith eventually on the stop, but a good run by Harris. 2nd down and 1.
Yeah, you want the best way to help a rookie quarterback, even though he's been starting for a little while, is give yourself a 2nd and 1. Great blocking by that offensive line. Good angle blocking there, and a nice little jump cut by Najee.
6 carries, 32 yards for Harris. 2nd down, about half a yard. Pickett under center, takes the snap. He'll hand it off to Harris again. Starts left, cuts it back right, picks up the 1st down in between the hash marks. He's out to about the 39-yard line. Adafi Owe, 2nd-year man out of Penn State, made the stop. They'll mark it down right at the 39. That'll go as a run of 5 for Harris and a 1st down for Pittsburgh.
As I said many times, offensive linemen love to run block. They love going forward. And Pittsburgh, one of the few teams, Ryan, in the league, all 5 starters have started every game this year.
Yeah, it really is amazing. We've seen all these teams that are so beat up, and yet the Steelers, they've had that same combination every single game. 1st and 10 from their own 39. Pickett under center. Receivers left and right. Takes the snap. Back on a play fake. Stumbles down and just laying there will finally be touched down by Jason Pierre-Paul back around the 32. So Pickett came back on a play fake. I don't know if he got stepped on or just tripped and fell, but he did not try to get up. He laid down back at around the 32, and Jason Pierre-Paul eventually touched him down. That'll be a loss of 7.
On the play fake, he tripped over Najee Harris's foot, and I think he had a college flashback. If you fall down in college, you're down. In the NFL, you can get up. There was nobody within 5 yards of him. You got to get up, try and do something with that ball.
So now the Steelers behind the chains. 2nd down and 17 from the 32. Pickett in the gun, 3 receivers right, single man to the left. Pickett takes the snap, back to pass, looking left, throws left, got a man. Johnson makes the catch across the 40. He's out to about the 45 and the 46-yard line. Brandon Stevens on the tackle. Kenny Pickett, given time, finds Deontay Johnson for a gain of 14. 2nd and long has become 3rd and manageable. 3rd and 3.
Excellent route by Deontay Johnson, just stopping and coming back a bit for the ball. Amazing. Johnson comes into the game with 82 catches, no touchdowns. Hasn't found the end zone one time this year.
Steelers 3 of 4 in the ball game on 3rd down. We mentioned since the bye they've been terrific, better than 50%. 3rd down and 3. Pickett in the gun, 2 receivers right, single man left. Jalen Warren is the single back. Pickett waits, takes the shotgun snap, back to pass, under pressure, rolling right, gets away, looking down the field, throws it to his sideline, caught by Pickens, coming back to the ball. Flags are down. Pickens gets up. He's inside the 35, out of bounds at the 34. The question is, did Pickens step out of bounds and come back in?
The answer is yes. That's exactly what he did. You see 2 refs with no hat on. Referee will throw a hat, meaning that the receiver stepped out of bounds, and then he cannot be the first one to touch it coming back inbounds, and that's exactly what happened.
Illegal touching. Offense number 14. The receiver was first to touch the pass after having gone out of bounds. Lost it down at the spot of the snap. 4th down.
It was a good escape by Pickett getting out of that sack, and good route by Pickens, save for the one little misstep out of bounds. That would have been a hell of a play and a 1st down. Now they got a punt.
Yeah, and you heard Landon Clark say that is lost it down.
Yep.
So it's not 5 yards and you get to do it again. Lost it down, so the Steelers will have to punt. Presley Harvin comes on to kick. James Prochet back inside the 10-yard line. Of course, the Ravens had Devin Duvernay, terrific returner, but Duvernay went on IR, a foot injury suffered in practice. And so Prochet back doing the returning. Here's the snap to Harvin, a low one. He drops the nose of the football. It's an end-over-end kick. Prochet moving to his left to let it bounce it around the 16. Takes a hop inside the 10, rolling to the 8-yard line, to the 7-yard line, down close to the 6. And the Steelers will down it right there. Miles Boykin picks the football up. They spot it right at the 6-yard line. It's a 48-yard punt and no return. We'll step aside. 10:50 to go here in the first half. Steelers and Ravens tied at 3. You're listening to Sunday Night Football on Westwood One.
Football season is underway, so now is the perfect time to download FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. Because right now, new customers get a no-sweat first bet up to $1,000. That's free bets back. If your first bet doesn't win, just sign up with the promo code WIN. FanDuel has all your favorite bets from the money line to point spreads to player props. So sign up today with promo code WIN for your no-sweat first bet. Make every moment more this season with FanDuel, an official sportsbook partner of the NFL. NFL.
Must be present in state where lawful to wager. 21 plus in select states. First online real money wager. Only refund issued as non-withdrawable free bets that expire in 14 days. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Visit fanduel.com/RG. Colorado, Iowa, Michigan, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Illinois, Virginia. 1-800-NEXT-STEP or text NEXT-STEP to 53342. Arizona 1-800-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org/chat. Connecticut 1-800-9-WITH-IT. Indiana, Kansas 1-800-522-4700 or visit ksgamblinghelp.com. Louisiana 1-877-770-STOP. New York 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. Tennessee Redline 1-800-889-9789. Wyoming, West Virginia 1-800-522-4700 or visit 1-800-GAMBLER.net.
Scott Graham from our Westwood 1 studios. Look at the Week 17 scoreboard. Tampa Bay wrapped up the division title in the NFC South. They beat Carolina 30-24 today. Meantime, New Orleans upset Philadelphia 20-10, stopping the Eagles from clinching the NFC East. Giants punched their ticket to the playoffs, beat Indianapolis 38-10. Green Bay's now in the driver's seat next week for the last NFC spot. They beat up on Minnesota today 41-17. San Francisco still has a shot at the number 1 overall seed. They won in overtime today in Vegas over the Raiders 37-34. Seattle's still alive heading into next week. They beat the Jets 23-6. Meantime, Detroit's alive too. They knocked off Chicago 41-10 today. Washington eliminated today by Cleveland 24-10 in D.C. New England beat Miami 23-21. They're in the driver's seat. Winning, they're in next week in the AFC. Kansas City beat Denver 27-24. It was Jacksonville 31, Houston 3. Chargers on top of the Rams 31-10, and Atlanta wins on a late field goal over Arizona 20-19. We'll have all of the details, including the playoff picture, coming up at the half. Right now, back to M&T Bank Stadium. Ryan Radke and Mike Golick.
All right, Scott, thanks very much. 10:50 to go in the second quarter. Steelers and Ravens tied at 3. And, Mike, you look at this game, it feels like the ultimate coach's cliche game. Run the ball, stop the run, don't make mistakes. We just saw the Steelers make mistakes that put them behind the chains.
That's exactly right. And even in the first drive, when they get down to the first and goal on the 3, illegal procedure puts them back to the 8. That's a mistake. And then you get the step out of bounds by Pickens when you would have had a first down. You're right. Least amount of mistakes usually is going to win. Right now, Pittsburgh, 2 drives, 2 mistakes.
Good punt by Harvard to the 48 yards, so the Ravens will start at their own 6, first and 10. Pistol formation. Edwards lined up behind Huntley. Single receiver to the right. Here's the snap. Huntley holds it out, gives it to Edwards. Hit immediately, is able to fall forward and get close to the line of scrimmage. Could have been a loss of a couple. DeMarvin Leal came firing through there and made the hit on Gus Edwards. No gain. That'll bring up second down and 10.
Yeah, Ricard was coming back, the fullback, to try and get that block, and just great job by Leal, just coming around him, missing the block completely and making the contact behind the line.
So it's second down and 10 for the Ravens now. Taking their time in the huddle, making their way to the line of scrimmage. Play clock is at 9 as they get lined up. Huntley is in the gun. He's got Dobbins to his left. 2 receivers stacked right, single man left. Huntley takes the snap, back to pass, under pressure, rolling to his right, throws. That's caught across the 10 by Jackson, and he dives out to the 15-yard line. So the veteran Deshaun Jackson picks up 9. Terrell Edmonds, Arthur Millette combine on the tackle, and a 3rd and 1 coming up for Deshaun Jackson, catch number 9 on the season.
So, again, Huntley gets to the outside. They ran a tackle end stunt that time, and the tackle was supposed to end up being outside and contained because T.J. Watt came underneath, not outside enough, and Huntley again able to roll out right.
3rd down and a yard, pistol formation. Edwards lined up behind Huntley. Ricard standing up will go in motion to the right. Here's the snap. Handoff. Edwards dancing left, looking for a hole. He didn't get there. He got back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. So the Pittsburgh Steelers on 3rd and 1 stand up, and they stoned Gus Edwards for no gain. Highsmith and Montravius Adams combine on the stop, and the punt team coming out for Baltimore.
That's just a great job of the D-line standing up the O-line at the line of scrimmage, and the linebackers just coming downhill 1,000 miles an hour. That's a great defensive play.
Jordan Stout, the rookie out of Penn State, is on to punt. Steven Sims waiting inside his 40-yard line. Stout, the 4th-round pick, gets his right foot into it. High, spiraling kick. Sims signals for a fair catch, and he's got it around his own 36-yard line with a late penalty flag thrown in. Well, we'll see about the marker. Right now it's a 49-yard punt with no return. And Land Clark will tell us about the penalty. Penalties have not been a huge issue for either one of these teams. Steelers kind of middle of the pack. Baltimore, meanwhile, one of the least penalized teams in the league.
See if we get a holding on Minkah Fitzpatrick.
During the penalty kick, holding, receiving team number 39, a 10-yard penalty, first down.
Well, you called it, Mike. Minka Fitzpatrick on the hold. Third penalty of the game against the Steelers. That'll back them up to their own 26, and that's where they'll have it when we come back. With 8:46 to go in the second quarter, Steelers and Ravens tied at 3. You're listening to Sunday Night Football on Westwood One.
And now a message from Puffs Plus Lotion Tissues. Ordinary tissues can leave you with a red nose, so choose Puffs Plus Lotion for all of your blows. Puffs have lotion to soothe sensitive skin, so you can wipe without wincing. It's a win-win. Puffs have cushiony thickness, which brings relief too, so the days of sore red noses are gone and through. When you're after soothing softness, a nose in need deserves Puffs indeed.
This winter, Hulu and Disney Plus are better together in a brand new bundle.
That's wicked. Wicked good.
With titles like Disenchanted and Willow on Disney Plus, and Fleischman is in Trouble and Welcome to Chippendales on Hulu.
I love this place.
All for just $9.99 a month. All of these and more now streaming. 18 and over only. Access content from each service separately. Offer valid for eligible subscribers only. Terms apply. See the DisneyBundle.com for details.
Introducing Barbasol 1919 Classic Shaving Cream, paying homage to the original invented over 100 years ago. This new non-aerosol formula features enhanced ingredients, an exceptional glide, and crisp fragrance for a winning shave experience.
Barbasol. New Jack Link's Barbecue Pork Tender Bites. A mouth-watering, sweet, and savory bite-sized barbecue snack. Because if barbecue wants to be a flavor and a patio appliance, Jack Link's is good with it. Available at a store near you.
This season, for the first time, you can hear every Westwood One NFL broadcast streamed live for free. Catch all the action on the NFL app on WestwoodOneSports.com via Westwood One station streams or by asking Alexa to open Westwood One Sports. All sponsored by AutoZone. It's time to say goodnight to that check engine light with a free AutoZone Fix Finder service. It'll help troubleshoot the likely cause of your light for free. Restrictions apply. Get in the zone. AutoZone.
There's a couple of guarantees usually in when these two teams play, Ryan, and one is close game, last 5 decided by 5 points or less. The other has got to be the under. The ball does not get in the end zone a lot with these two teams.
No, not a lot of points.
No.
In these games, but generally close, as we talked about. Since Harbaugh got here with the Ravens in 08, Tomlin got 1 year before him in Pittsburgh, 07. But since Harbaugh got here, 29 games, 23 one-score games, 17 by 3 or fewer points.
Amazing.
You mentioned these two teams know each other well. After the penalty, Steelers will start 1st and 10 at their own 26. Pistol formation. Harris is the back behind Pickett. Two receivers left, single man right. Pickett walks up towards the line of scrimmage, changing something. Play clock now at 7. Here's the snap. Pickett will hand it off. Najee Harris outside the left hash. And Harris out across the 30 to the 31-yard line. 5-yard pickup for Najee Harris. Marcus Williams from his safety spot with the stop. That'll bring up 2nd down and 5. Ravens' Brandon Stevens just went back to the locker room. So already without Marcus Peters, Brandon Stevens now in the locker room. And Kevon Seymour, 60-year man out of USC, is in at corner. 2nd down and 5 now for the Steelers. Pickett will put his hands under center. Two receivers stacked right. Single man to the left. Pickett brings Oshevsky in motion. Going to hand it off to him on the jet sweep. Running left outside the numbers to the 35. And he is chopped down right at that first down marker at the 36-yard line. Marcus Williams, Patrick Queen together on the tackle. It will be good enough for a first down. A gain of 5 yards for Gunnar Oshevsky on that speed sweep.
Good job just staying behind his blockers. Not the largest of runners out there, that's for sure. It's smart to just stay behind your blockers.
6th carry of the year for Oshevsky. Good enough for a first down. 1st and 10 now. Ball at the 37-yard line. Here's the snap. Handoff. Running off the right side. Jalen Warren across the 40-yard line. Warren works his way out to the 42, maybe the 43. Patrick Queen, Kyle Hamilton, the first rounder out of Notre Dame, together on the tackle after a gain of 5.
Love the way Warren runs. Again, 5'8", about 215. So in low center of gravity, low to the ground. When he drops those shoulders, you know he's always going to end up going forward, getting positive yards.
Call it a gain of 6 to the 43, so 2nd down and 4 for the Steelers. 7 minutes, 9 seconds to go here in the first half. 3-3 ball game. Warren remains in as the running back. Two receivers left, single man to the right. Pickett hands under center, brings Sims in motion from the left, give to Warren, running left outside the hash marks, and Jalen Warren's going to have a first down, just exploding through there, getting out across the 47. It was Hamilton on the tackle, and Jalen Warren, a first down run for Pittsburgh.
Many times as he's carrying the ball, he had a season-high 11 rushing attempts in his first career TD in Week 15 against Carolina. He's looking to beat that tonight.
Gain of 5 on that run by Jalen Warren. First and 10 now with the football at the Steelers' 48-yard line. Pickett will line up in the shotgun. He's got Warren to his left. Single receiver split to the left is Pickens. Deontay Johnson to the right. Here's the snap. Pickett back to pass. Flush to his right. Looking. Pump. Throws. Sideline. Johnson made the catch. Did he get his feet down in bounds? No. Incomplete. They'll say he was bobbling it as he was going out of bounds. Deontay Johnson trying to keep those toes down as he made a fingertip catch. Seymour was in coverage. It'll be 2nd and 10.
I'm going to tell you, the D coordinator, Mike McDonald's got to be getting sick and tired of seeing Pickett able to roll out outside, just getting outside of the outside man rushing. Too many times that's happening there. Actually, both quarterbacks have been able to get the edge, not staying contained at all, but that's twice Pickett has thrown to the sidelines and not being able to complete either one.
Oweh is the man who made put the pressure on. 2nd and 10 from the 48. Here's the snap. Handoff Warren. Starts to his right. Cuts it back towards the hash mark. And he takes it across the 50 to about the Baltimore 48-yard line. Gain of 4. Justin Matabike, third-year man out of Texas A&M on the tackle. And now a third down play. It'll be 3rd and 6 coming up for Pittsburgh with inside 6 minutes to go here in this first half in a 3-3 game.
So let's see again, Freiermuth, if he gets involved, Warren's in there at running back. He'll look to pick up any extra rushers. If not, you'll see him out in the route as well.
Pickett lines up in the shotgun. He's got 3 receivers left, single man to the right. Warren to the right of Pickett, fans on their feet. Here's the snap. Pickett back to pass, under pressure, rolling to his left, flips his hip, throws down the field, caught first down inside the 40-yard line. Kenny Pickett rolling left, flips his hips, and he finds Freiermuth for a gain of 9. Hamilton was in coverage.
Well, you know the Steeler fans that are here, because that's not Baltimore Raven fans booing, that's Steeler fans moothing. Moothing? Would that be it?
Let's go with it. Why not?
Moothing?
I like it.
But again, Pickett, the quarterback, getting outside of contain. Both these teams are not containing the quarterback.
And the Steelers now 4 of 6 on third down of the ball game. Steelers maintain possession, first down and 10. Football at the 37 of Baltimore. Pickett under center, takes the snap. He'll hand it off to Najee Harris, running outside the right hash, gets grabbed from behind, breaks the initial tackle, and then is able to fall forward down inside the 35 to the 34-yard line for a gain of 3. Hamilton again on the stop with Justin Houston helping out. It'll be 2nd down and 7. A reminder, you can watch NFL Network and Westwood One announcers Rich Eisen and Kurt Warner each and every Sunday on NFL Game Day morning, 9 a.m. Eastern, only on NFL Network. Clock moving, 4:25 to go here in the first half. 2 receivers go to the left, single man right, Pickett in the gun with Harris to his left. Tight end Zach Gentry motions from right to left, shotgun snap, Pickett hands it off, Harris straight ahead, jumps over the pile, and he's down to about the 31-yard line. Be a gain of 3. Chuck Clark, Travis Jones together on the tackle. And now another third down coming up for the Steelers, but third very manageable here. They've been good, as we mentioned, 4 of 6 on third down of the game. This is going to be third down at about 2.5.
Yeah, as you mentioned, manageable. And we saw that on their first drive. 3rd and 1s, 3rd and 2s. Makes it a lot easier on the quarterback, especially with play action.
When receivers left and right, Pickett in the gun, Warren to his left. Play clock is at 9. Here's the snap. Pickett back to pass. Looking, has time. Fires over the middle, knocked down, incomplete. Trying to get it to Freiermuth, and Chuck Clark got his left hand in there to slap it away. 4th down, and Chris Boswell and the field goal team coming out.
That's a great job, great coverage. Again, normally the left hand he goes in, the right hand usually is what gets the DB in trouble. He keeps it off Freiermuth, or doesn't shift Freiermuth and take him out of his pattern enough to get the flag. And there's no doubt, a lot of people would say maybe you go for it here. Points are at a premium in a game like this. You get them when you can.
It'll be a 48-yarder for Boswell. It'll come from the right hash. Christian Kuntz will snap. Presley Harvin will hold. The kick from Boswell is on the way, and it is no good. Banged it off the right upright. Chris Boswell misses the field goal, his 8th miss of the season, and this game remains tied at 3. With 3 minutes and 30 seconds to go in the second quarter, you're listening to Sunday Night Football on Westwood One.
Football is a game of inches, and while we've advanced the ball down the field, our efforts to achieve equality are still far from the goal. But we are in it for the long haul. For years, P&G has used this voice to shine a light on inequalities and bias, and through their Take On Race platform, actionable change is being made. P&G is dedicated to investing in the future of boys and men of color, supporting the success of black women entrepreneurs, funding efforts that will improve the child care industry in the U.S., and much more. So we invite you to join P&G and take action to ensure the home field advantage is everyone's advantage. Go to pg.com/takeonrace to learn more. That's pg.com/takeonrace and engage in a quest for a more equitable world for everyone.
Did you know Nissan EVs have traveled 8 billion miles? Just a quick trip to Pluto and back. And what did we learn along the way? Well, that an EV can take on the world, like the Nissan Leaf. It can move racing forward and take your breath away, like the all-new Nissan Ariya. We learned to make EVs that electrify. 8 billion miles driven by Leaf owners globally since 2010. Ariya not yet available for purchase. Expected availability late fall, subject to change.
With a Peppermint Frosty, time to enjoy yourself is built in. You're welcome. They're so rich and creamy, a straw just won't cut it. And finishing one, it's not something you can speed through. So check your watch. Is it Frosty time yet? And by that, we mean, is it time for a moment with just you and your Frosty kicking back and doing whatever goes best with the chillest treat of the season? These Peppermint Frosty treats are going fast, so when it's time for Frosty time, choose wisely, choose Wendy's.
Time to check the schedule of games coming up on Westwood One, sponsored by Hulu Plus Live TV. Tomorrow night, the Cincinnati Bengals take on the Buffalo Bills. Then Saturday, it's a special NFL doubleheader beginning at 4 p.m. Eastern, followed by the final regular season game of the NFL season next Sunday night. Those matchups will be determined, but all 3 games promise to have playoff implications. Did you know Hulu Plus Live TV has over 75 live channels with sports like NFL games? It also now comes with Disney Plus and ESPN Plus. Live TV plan required. Restrictions apply. Access content from each service separately. Learn more at Hulu.com. I'm glad we have somebody smart like Scott Graham that can explain all these different scenarios, because you and I stand at no chance of trying to figure all this stuff out.
Literally, if it's over 2 lines, I just don't look at it anymore and just rely. I look at somebody else's paper kind of like I did in college.
Those eyes just start to glaze over a little bit.
Absolutely.
Meanwhile, after the missed field goal by Boswell, the Ravens will take over at their own 38-yard line, 1st and 10, 3-3 game, 3:30 to go here in the first half. Pistol formation, and we've got a flag. Yep. Some movement maybe along that offensive line.
False start. Offense number 84. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
That's Josh Oliver, the tight end, who moved early. First penalty of the night on the Ravens, who came in with a 3rd fewest penalties in the NFL.
So what happens is every now and then the D-line will shift. The linebacker will call it out, and they'll shift. And when they all shift at once, sometimes it gets an offensive person on the line, a lineman or a tight end, to just move a little bit.
So back it up 5 yards, 1st and 15 now. With the ball to 33. Here's the snap. Handoff J.K. Dobbins running right, turns the corner, 35 out to the right, numbers 40, 45 to the sideline, 50, and knocked out of bounds. J.K. Dobbins finding room to run out of bounds at midfield, a gain of 17. Cameron Sutton escorts him out.
Excellent job by, again, Ricard kicking the outside man out. The left guard, Ben Powers, pulling up into the hole. And the running back doesn't get touched. Dobbins doesn't get touched until the 3rd level.
6 carries, 37 yards for Dobbins, who had had a lot of 0 runs so far in the ball game, getting stuck right at the line of scrimmage, but that time found a lane. 1st and 10 from midfield. Here's the snap. Handed off Dobbins again, running outside the left hash to the 45-yard line, and he has stood up there. 5 more for J.K. Dobbins. Robert Spillane leads the charge for Pittsburgh. It'll be 2nd down and 5. Clock moving. 2:43 to go in the second quarter. Ravens have all 3 timeouts. Steelers with 2.
Good running, good gains. Again, they love pulling their linemen, the guards and tackles, getting them up into the hole. The backs do a great job of following behind, kind of hiding inside of them before they make their breaks.
2nd and 5, Ravens from the Steelers' 45. Huntley is in the gun. He's got Dobbins to his left. Receivers left and right. Handoff Dobbins running right side. Shakes a couple of tackles. Maintains his feet. Driving forward along the right hash, and he's got the first down. Spillane eventually on the stop. Boy, Dobbins got hit twice right at the line of scrimmage. Was able to get out of both. Ends up picking up 6 and a first down.
So 2 plays ago, Ricard kicked out T.J. Watt, who rushed up the field, and Dobbins was able to hit that hole. This time, Watt came underneath that block, but still wasn't able to make the tackle.
Watt had a shot. Robinson had a shot. Neither one could get him, and it's a first down for Baltimore as we have reached the 2-minute warning. Sponsored by Mr. Clean Magic Eraser. Mr. Clean Magic Eraser powers through tough household messes like magic, so it only looks like you spent hours cleaning. Mr. Clean Magic Eraser, it makes cleaning look easy. 2 minutes to go, first half. Ravens and Steelers tied at 3. You're listening to Sunday Night Football on Westwood One.
Mr. Clean, Mr. Clean.
Of course I use Mr. Clean Magic Eraser to clean tough messes off my stovetop and bathtub. But then I discovered I can also use it to easily clean my patio furniture and even my shoes. I'm hooked.
And when wipes won't cut it, I use Magic Eraser Sheets. They're thin and flexible erasers, perfect for everyday messes, like gunk on my counters and sinks. They really are magical.
The reviews are in. Mr. Clean Magic Eraser and Sheets make cleaning look easy.
Wireless headphones. That'll be $200.
I'll use my Capital One Quicksilver card.
Now that's a hit. You used the Capital One Quicksilver card, which makes you the hero of every purchase. With Quicksilver, you earn unlimited 1.5% cash back on every purchase everywhere.
I wanted running music, but unlimited 1.5% cash back is pretty heroic.
Good instincts. Every hero needs a theme song. The Capital One Quicksilver card. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
A reminder to stay with us for the Sunday Night Football halftime report on Westwood One, sponsored by Jack Links. Our savory protein friends at Jack Links want to remind you, if you want to wear team color face paint while watching the game at home, Jack Links is good with it. Pick up Jack Links at a store near you. Scott will check all the scores and highlights from Week 17 of the NFL season. That's coming up at the half.
3rd and short for Baltimore, and I talked about Pittsburgh's O-line, that all 5 guys have started every game. Baltimore's been somewhat close. Ben Powers, the left guard, Linderbaum, the center, and Morgan Moses, the right tackle, have started every game. Kevin Zeitler, the right guard, has missed only one. It's been that left tackle spot. Ronnie Stanley has had an ankle issue for a couple of years. He's had 9 starts this year. Patrick McCarry has been the guy that's filled in there, other spots along the line during games at times. But for the most part, they've held together pretty well.
Ravens are going to have a 3rd and 1. They had the ball at the 39-yard line, and they just moved it back.
We're short of the first down. 3rd down.
That must have come from upstairs.
Yeah, exactly.
But they took a look, and so they had the Ravens with a first down. They've now moved the ball. It's just shy of the 40-yard line, so it's going to be 3rd and about a half yard. Ravens 2 of 4 on 3rd down. Let's see if this is the quarterback sneak as Huntley goes up under center. Single receiver, Watkins out to the right. Huntley takes the snap, gets a shove from behind by Mark Andrews, and he's got the first down. And he needed about the length of the football, and he gets it across the 40 to the 39, so officially that'll go as a run of at least 2, and it'll be first down at 10 with the clock moving. 1:45 to go here in the first half.
It's the popular play now in the quarterback sneak is to motion that tight end or that fullback, and he ends up right behind the quarterback and just blatantly shoves him. It's legal now. I hate it, but it's legal, so do it. You know, if you get the quarterback staying low enough and you get that the leverage behind in the push, you're going to gain yards.
Now my favorite play in the NFL just because of how much you hate it.
I knew you'd say that.
Single wide receiver to the left, pistol formation, Dobbins behind Huntley, 1st and 10 from the Steelers 39. Here's the snap, handoff Dobbins, running right side, breaks a couple of tackles, across the 35, out to the sideline, 30, he's out of bounds with a first down. They'll mark him out of bounds at about the 27-yard line. Terrell Edmonds eventually escorts him out. Suddenly, J.K. Dobbins starting to find some running room. He picks up 12.
Again, pulling the right guard or left guard and left tackle Powers and Stanley. And, man, Powers kick out. Stanley pulled up right into that hole. A great job blocking Terrell Edmonds. And just these backs on this play aren't getting touched till the 2nd or 3rd level. Great blocking.
9 carries, 58 yards now for J.K. Dobbins. Clock stopped with 1:14 to go in the second quarter. Ravens still have all 3 timeouts. First and 10 from the Steelers 27. Gus Edwards is the pistol back. He'll take the handoff straight ahead. Now cuts to the right. And an ankle tackle brings him down to the 25. Boy, Mark Robinson, the rookie out of Mississippi, with an excellent tackle just when it looked like Edwards was getting into space. Gain of 2, second down and 8.
So what's happening, Ryan, is the end man on the line has been T.J. Watt. This time it's Jameer Jones. They're coming up the field too far instead of coming down on a run because Ricard is just kicking them out and opening up a huge hole because the defensive outside man is running too far up the field.
Clock still moving, 40 seconds to go in the half, second down and 8. Here's the snap. Huntley fakes the handoff, back to pass, looking, pumps, pulls it down, rolling right, throws to the sideline. Andrews wide open, makes the catch, steps out of bounds with a first down. Andrews just standing over there on that right sideline, and Huntley finally found him. He steps out at the 16. Jameer Jones was in coverage. It's a gain of 11. Clock stopped with 32 seconds to go in the half.
Yeah, how Andrews is that wide open, I'll never know. But now 3 targets, 3 receptions, and that's the man to look for.
But Andrews just standing and waiting to see if Huntley would find him, and he did. So a first and 10 for Baltimore now, again with all 3 timeouts. Middle of the field is wide open for us. Huntley will line up in the shotgun. He's got Ricard to his left, Justice Hill to his right, receivers left and right. Here's the snap. Huntley fakes the handoff, runs straight ahead, and he's grabbed by Spillane and drops. Might have lost a yard on the play, and the Ravens will take time with 28 seconds to go here in the first half. John Harbaugh right there to stop the clock, and we'll step aside. 28 seconds remaining in the second quarter. Ravens and Steelers tied at 3. You're listening to Sunday Night Football on Westwood One.
Here's to Prilosec OTC. Just 1 pill each morning and no heartburn all day. My holiday hero.
Prilosec OTC. 1 pill a day, 24 hours, 0 heartburn. It's possible while taking Prilosec OTC. Use as directed for 14 days to treat frequent heartburn, not for immediate relief.
The NFL and its players and teams are committed to advancing social justice through work that reduces barriers to opportunity and creates progress in police-community relations, criminal justice reform, education, and economic advancement. Throughout the season, the NFL family has been working to highlight efforts across the league to inspire change in our communities and advance these issues. To learn more, visit NFL.com/inspirechange.
With a Peppermint Frosty, time to enjoy yourself is built in. You're welcome. They're so rich and creamy, a straw just won't cut it. And finishing one, it's not something you could speed through. So check your watch. Is it Frosty time yet? And by that, we mean, is it time for a moment with just you and your Frosty kicking back and doing whatever goes best with the chillest treat of the season? These Peppermint Frosty treats are going fast, so when it's time for Frosty time, choose wisely. Choose Wendy's.
Barbasol shaving cream is available in 5 fantastic flavors to customize your close shave. Whether it's original, soothing aloe, or Pacific Rush, there's one for every face. Find your favorite Barbasol today.
Barbasol. Brian Radke, Mike Golick here in the Grainger broadcast booth in Baltimore. Knowledge and experience matters. Grainger has answers to help you get jobs done, plus supplies and solutions for every industry. Call Grainger.com or stop by. 28 seconds to go first half. 3-3 between the Ravens and the Steelers. Ravens tapping to the red zone at the Steelers' 16-yard line. Second down and 10. Still with 2 timeouts left, Mike.
Didn't mind the Huntley run at all. I thought that was a pretty good call. It was just defense very well. Remember, these are 2 of the top rush defenses in the NFL. But it does make it second and long. You have time. You have timeouts. Again, you can still use the middle of the field. I would be looking for Mark Andrews. When I did when I did the Browns game a couple of weeks ago, it was amazing how they just, and it wasn't like Mark wasn't available. Huntley just wasn't getting him the ball. It was not a great offensive night for them in their loss to Cleveland, but he certainly found Andrews tonight in the limited times they've been passing.
Well, you look at the last 4 years, only Travis Kelce has more touchdown catches among tight ends in the NFL, but Andrews 8 straight games without a touchdown catch this year after he got off to a really good start this season.
And again, you say 8 straight games. That's 4 with Lamar Jackson. This is his 4th missing, so both Lamar and Huntley have not found Andrews in the end zone for a bit.
Andrews one of 2 receivers to the right, single man to the left. Huntley in the gun, sends Justice Hill in motion out to the right. He pumps to that side, screen left side to Likely, the tight end, wrapped up by Robert Spillane. That play is going nowhere, and the Ravens will call timeout. Boy, they pumped the screen out to the right to Hill. Came back to Likely, the big-bodied rookie tight end, but Robert Spillane was all over it. It's a loss of 5, 22 seconds remaining in the first half.
Spillane last week had a season-high 12 tackles. He's one of those guys that's just kind of all over the field. Just find the ball, and he's usually there.
They'll move it back to the 22-yard line now. It'll be third down and 16, 22 seconds remaining. Ravens have one more timeout. Just a reminder what's on the line here tonight. The Ravens win tonight. They could win the division next week against Cincinnati. Right now, Baltimore is in that 6th spot in the AFC. Pittsburgh still has life. They need to win their last 2 games and get some help. But with the Dolphins losing earlier today, Pittsburgh still has a shot to get in. Ravens 3 of 5 on third down. This is third and 16. 2 receivers right, 2 receivers left. Dobbins in the backfield. Here's the snap. They'll hand it off to him. Dobbins running left, just outside the hash, and he's down close to the 15-yard line. Harbaugh is going to let the clock run here. Millette on the stop. Gain of 7. Harbaugh standing next to the official, and now a flag comes in. This may be against the Steelers. They're going to stop the clock. Harbaugh was just going to let it run down and call timeout and kick the field goal. But as they were getting things unpiled, a flag came in, and the Ravens are saying it's against Pittsburgh.
This is where that rivalry is, hard-hitting rivalry, but sometimes when that happens, emotion gets the best of you. You got to keep them in check. You can't have dumb penalties if, in fact, that's what this is.
Clock shows 10 seconds. Here's the call.
After the play, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, defense number 97. The penalty will be forced half the distance to the goal with an automatic first down.
Boy, you do not expect that from Cameron Hayward,
No,
Mike.
no. 12 years in the league, absolutely not. And he's talking to the ref right now. That is absolutely unexpected by a leader of this stature in Cameron Hayward.
So that'll take it down inside the 10-yard line. They will spot it at the 7. The Ravens maintain that timeout so they can run another play here with 10 seconds to go.
Absolutely, and now they'll take a shot. Before they were too far away from the first down, so they just ran a safe play. We're going to be happy to kick a field goal and take the lead going in at halftime, but now they can take one shot to the end zone.
Also added a second onto the clock, so now 11 seconds remaining in the half. First and goal from the 7. 2 receivers left, 3 receivers right. Shotgun snap, Huntley back to pass, looking left, throws left to the end zone. Caught, touchdown Baltimore. It's Isaiah Likely, the rookie tight end in the front left corner of the end zone. 7-yard touchdown pass from Huntley, and the Ravens have the lead with 7 seconds remaining here in the second quarter.
Inside man, just an out route, got a step on the left and nickel back, and a really nice throw by Huntley. I'll tell you, Cam Hayward is going to be sick about this one in the locker room at halftime. He gave them that extra play, and Baltimore took advantage of it.
Third touchdown catch of the year for Likely, the 4th-round pick out of Coastal Carolina. And now Justin Tucker trying to make it a 7-point Ravens edge. Tucker eyes the uprights, says he's ready to go. Here's the snap. Stout puts it down. Tucker's kick is on the way, and it is good. 7 seconds remaining in the first half, and the Baltimore Ravens, capitalizing on the Cameron Hayward penalty, have taken a 10-3 lead. A reminder that Westwood One is the only place for exclusive audio coverage of every NFL postseason game. From the wild card round all the way to Super Bowl 57 in Arizona, the NFL playoffs are on Westwood One. Log on to WestwoodOneSports.com for more details and to listen to the live stream for free. So an 11-play, 62-yard drive. 3:23 off the clock. The Cameron Hayward penalty extends the drive, and Tyler Huntley finds Isaiah Likely to make it 10-3 Baltimore.
Well, I tell you, Cam Hayward walked off the field, and nobody went near him. The only guy that went to talk to him was Minkah Fitzpatrick to try and calm him down. Everybody else just kept their distance. So Cam got that penalty, whether he thinks he should have or not. He's going to feel pretty bad about that one of what he cost his team right there.
So Tucker ready to kick it away. Sims is back to return. We've seen a couple of touchbacks already tonight. Let's see if Tucker tries to boom this one deep or kicks that ground ball down the middle of the field. Tucker on the approach. And he will drive it end over end kickoff in the air. Sims is going to take it about 5 yards deep in the end zone. He's coming out across the 5, heads left to the 10, out of the 15, over the 20-yard line. And Sims diving out close to the 25 with 3 seconds remaining here in half number 1. James Prochet getting down to make the tackle.
And they'll just snap it, run it out, and guess who gets the ball? Start the third quarter.
Baltimore deferred that option, so they will have it.
Yep.
Great drive put together by the Ravens to end the half. And that penalty certainly helped out. So Kenny Pickett puts his hands under center, drops down to his right knee, and that'll do it for the first half. The Baltimore Ravens with a 10-3 lead. And Mike, we mentioned a little while ago, the team that made the fewest mistakes was going to win. Big mistake by a veteran Steelers player opens the door for the Ravens.
Huge, from all the way back to the first drive, an illegal procedure, to Pickens being out of bounds, making a first down catch, to that so ill-advised 15-yarder that gave Baltimore another play.
That's the end of the first half with the score, the Ravens 10 and the Steelers 3. When we return, Scott Graham rejoins us from our studios with the Jack Links Halftime Report. You're listening to Sunday Night Football on Westwood One.
Disney Plus and Hulu better together in a brand new bundle.
Ready for an adventure?
The greatest stories ever told on Disney Plus with The Mandalorian and Disenchanted.
That's wicked. Wicked good.
Critically acclaimed fan favorites on Hulu like Pam and Tommy and The Bear.
Let's take it up another level.
Think big when you bundle both for just $9.99 a month.
We're so good together.
All of these and more now streaming. Savings compared to regular monthly price of each service. 18 and over only. Access content from each service separately. Offer valid for eligible subscribers only. Terms apply. See DisneyBundle.com for details.
Feeling great starts with a great shave. And a great shave starts with Barbasol Shaving Cream. That's Barbasol Shaving Cream, an American classic for over 100 years. You're looking good, America. You're shaving with Barbasol.
Barbasol. Getting a tattoo of your team's mascot on your arm and your back and your face. Who's the mascot now? Jack Links is good with it. Pick up Jack Links at a store near you.
Welcome to the Sunday Night Football Halftime Report on Westwood One, sponsored by Jack Links. Our savory protein friends at Jack Links want to remind you, if you want to wear team color face paint while watching the game at home, Jack Links is good with it. Pick up Jack Links at a store near you. Once again, here's your host, Scott Graham.
From our Westwood One studios, Happy New Year, and we are at halftime right now in Baltimore. A tight game that goes back and forth and can be decided on one play. Who could have seen this coming? Ravens lead the Steelers by a score of 10-3. Let's get you updated on what happened around the rest of the National Football League today in Week 17. A lot of things came into much clearer focus today, one of which was Tampa Bay finally got over the hump and ended up winning the NFC South. They knocked off Carolina today, 30-24 the final. Tom Brady, for the first time since Week 4, found Mike Evans for a touchdown. He liked it so much he did it 3 times. Evans had 10 catches for 207 yards and 3 scores on the day as Tom Brady wins his 19th division title of his career by throwing for 432 yards. That 30-24 final, as we said, makes them division champs, and Brady reflected on it afterwards.
Really proud of our guys and everyone on the team, coaches. We battled through a lot of tough things this year, and happy to win the division. It's always tough to do it. NFL games are tough to win, and wish they wouldn't be as exciting as we made them. But happy we got the win, and happy so many guys contributed.
Carolina at 6-10, officially eliminated with the loss. Meantime, the Philadelphia Eagles have not sewn up their division or the number 1 overall seed yet. That's still open because New Orleans beat them today by a score of 20-10. They shut out Philly in the first half of this game. Marshawn Lattimore capped it off with a 10-yard pick 6 in the fourth quarter as New Orleans got to 7-9. For a while they were alive today. They have now been eliminated from contention. Philly's got the New York Giants coming in next week, still with an opportunity to win and wrap up the division title. New York Giants might not have to play anybody next week. Why? Because they went off in the second quarter at home today against Indianapolis, scoring 24 points to build a big lead, and then coasted home to a big celebration at MetLife Stadium.
Final seconds. Kickoff. There it is. The final score, the Giants 38, the Colts 10, and the Giants will make it to the postseason as the 6th seed. Nobody, and I mean nobody, thought this Giant team could do that this year, but they've earned their 9th victory, and they're going to the postseason.
Bob Pop of the WFAN New York Giants Radio Network, 38-10 the final. Daniel Jones responsible for 4 touchdowns. As Bob told you, they are locked in as the number 6 seed. Indy now 4-11-1. About the Green Bay Packers. Okay, let's talk about the Green Bay Packers. Because a while ago, people thought they were completely out of this thing. And today, they beat up on the Minnesota Vikings. And I mean beat up on them. 41-17, the final score in this ball game. And Green Bay, now at 8-8, is in the driver's seat. They go to Chicago next week to take on the Bears. If they win, they are in the playoffs. This is a team right now that a lot of people thought was completely out of it at 4-8. 8-8, it is their driver's seat right now. Aaron Rodgers only threw for 1 touchdown on the day today and 159 yards, but he's a happy guy.
We're becoming a more dangerous team, and we've all seen some of the commentary outside as we went from 4-8 to 5-8 to 6-8, and nobody's worried about the Packers and blah 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 blah. Now what are you going to say?
Minnesota 12-4 now after getting blown out in this game, loses their shot at the number 1 overall seed, but they still could come in as high as 2 when the dust clears next week. San Francisco still has a shot at the number 1 seed. They had a battle on their hands today in Las Vegas, but they win 37-34 in overtime. Robbie Gould missed a potential game-winning 40-yard field goal in regulation, but hit the overtime 23-yarder. San Francisco wins for the 9th straight time. They're 12-4 on the year. Vegas eliminated are now 6-10. Seattle is still alive. They beat the New York Jets today by a score of 23-6. Geno Smith beating his old teammates by throwing a couple of touchdown passes. Kenneth Walker ran for 133 yards. Seattle needs a win and a Green Bay loss next week, and they would qualify for the playoffs. Speaking of teams that are still in it, so is Detroit. They beat Chicago today by a score of 41-10. They need a win and a Seattle loss next week, and they've got Green Bay. Of course, they got them at Lambeau Field. Once again, a big scoring output of 41 points for Detroit. Their 8th 30-plus point game this year. That's the most in the National Football League. Chicago, another big rushing day out of Justin Fields for 132 yards. They are 3-13. And Cleveland eliminated Washington today, 24-10, the final score in that ball game at FedEx Field. Deshaun Watson didn't throw for big numbers, just 9 out of 18, but 3 of them were touchdowns. And Carson Wentz threw 3 interceptions. Cleveland, as we said, now 7-9. They are out of the playoff race, and Washington is officially eliminated at 7-8-1. Our halftime score: the Ravens 10, the Steelers 3. This is Westwood One's coverage of the National Football League.
Teaching your parents how the internet works? Hard. Trusting the NetSpend All Access account to help you build a better financial future? Easy. Reinventing the mobile banking experience around YOU. Banking services provided by Pathword NA. NetSpend has been trusted by over 10 million and is rated great on Trustpilot. Go beyond banking with the NetSpend All Access account. Get started today at netspend.com. NetSpend has been rated great on Trustpilot as of November 2022. Deposit account is established by Pathword NA, member FDIC. Deposit account opening is subject to registration and ID verification. Terms and costs apply.
So I switched to Boost Mobile and got this free Samsung Galaxy A23 5G phone.
Why do you think they call it the Galaxy?
Maybe because the Samsung Galaxy A23 has a huge screen, and galaxies are huge gravitationally bound systems of stars rotating around a supermassive black hole.
And the phone is free?
When you switch to Boost Mobile.
Cool. You lost me at gravitationally bound.
Switch to Boost and get a free Samsung Galaxy A23 5G phone. Boost Mobile. Unleash your power. Limited time offer while supplies last. New customers only. Excludes tax. 1 device offer per line. Only available on certain networks. 5G not available everywhere. Additional restrictions apply. See local Boost Mobile store for details.
If you own a business, this has been a bumpy ride. From pandemic to inflation, I'm sure you could use a break. If your business has 5 or more employees and survived COVID, you might be eligible to receive a payroll tax refund of up to $26,000 per employee. The challenge is getting your hands on it. Hi, I'm Howard Mackler, and that's why I founded GetRefunds.com to cut through the red tape and get you the money. The team of tax attorneys we have put together are highly trained in this little-known payroll tax refund program. We do all the work, charge not a dime up front, and simply share a percentage of the cash that we get for you. Businesses of all types can qualify, including those that took PPP, nonprofits, and even those that had increases in sales. We have helped return over $1 billion to businesses, and we can help you too. Just go to getrefunds.com/sports. Click on Qualify Me and answer a few questions. This payroll tax refund is only available for a limited period of time. Don't lose out on up to $26,000 per employee. Go to getrefunds.com/sports. That's getrefunds.com/sports.
Welcome back to Sunday Night Football on Westwood One from the Progressive Insurance Studios. I'm Scott Graham. Progressive Insurance gives you protection on the phone, online, or on the app 24/7 because things happen 24/7. Get a quote at Progressive.com. 7-point lead for the Ravens at the break. Earlier today, the New England Patriots walked into their game with the Miami Dolphins knowing they would be eliminated with a loss. Miami had a chance to clinch if they won and the Jets lost. The script entirely flipped, and it flipped because New England's defense did what they've done all year.
At a 3rd and 15 snap, they rush 4. Bridgewater is back to fire it right pass. Intercepted by Duggar. Left to the 30, outside to the 20, to the 15, to the 10. Duggar to the 5. Duggar to the end zone. He took it to the house again. Here we go. Patriots take the lead.
Bob Socci, Scott Zolak, 98.5, the Sports Hub Patriots Radio Network. New England wins 23-21. What it means is they clinch if they win at Buffalo next week. As far as Miami is concerned, well, they're 8-8 right now. They need to win and for New England to lose to get in. Kansas City still alive for the number 1 overall seed in the AFC. They beat Denver today, although it was a battle, 27-24. Patrick Mahomes throws for 3 touchdowns and 2 more touchdowns for Jerick McKinnon. KC now 13-3 on the year. Russell Wilson had a passing touchdown and a couple of rushing touchdowns, but Denver fired their coach last week, now 4-12. Jacksonville didn't necessarily need to play big today, but they did. They beat Houston 31-3. Travis Etienne for 108 yards and a touchdown, and Jacksonville gets ready for their game against Tennessee, which is for the division title next week. Houston gets ready for the draft next year. They're 2-13-1. Chargers beat the Rams 31-10. Justin Herbert threw for a couple of scores, and Austin Eckler ran for 2 as L.A. improves to 10-6. Rams fall to 5-11. And Younghoe Koo hit a field goal as time expired in Atlanta today. Falcons knocked off the Arizona Cardinals by a score of 20-19. So here's your scenarios. Packers are in with a win next week in the NFC. Lions are in with a win and a Seattle loss. Seahawks are in with a win and a Green Bay loss. On the AFC side, Patriots are in with a win. Dolphins need a win and a Patriot loss. And our team tonight, the Steelers, has to win 2 games, and both of the other teams, Dolphins and Patriots, have to lose next week. This has been the Sunday Night Football Halftime Report on Westwood One, sponsored by Jack Links. Our savory protein friends at Jack Links want to remind you, if you want to wear team-colored face paint while watching the game at home, Jack Links is good with it. Pick up Jack Links at a store near you. Our halftime score, the Ravens 10, the Steelers 3. When we return, Ryan Radke and Mike Golick will have the second half kickoff. You're listening to Sunday Night Football on Westwood One.
Did you know Nissan EVs have traveled 8 billion miles? Just a quick trip to Pluto and back. And what did we learn along the way? Well, that an EV can take on the world, like the Nissan Leaf. It can move racing forward and take your breath away, like the all-new Nissan Ariya. We learned to make EVs that electrify. 8 billion miles driven by Leaf owners globally since 2010. Ariya not yet available for purchase. Expected availability late fall, subject to change.
Ryan Radke, Mike Golick back in Baltimore, where the Ravens lead the Steelers by a score of 10-3. Let's check the halftime stats, sponsored by Indeed. We get it. A single hire can make or break everything. Indeed lets you schedule and conduct virtual interviews all from one place. Start at Indeed.com/credit. Well, the stats pretty even in that first half. Steelers with 142 yards of total offense. The Ravens with 129. Pittsburgh had about a 3-minute advantage in time of possession. Kenny Pickett, 5 of 10, 42 yards. Tyler Huntley, 7 of 9 for 41 yards and a touchdown. For Baltimore, J.K. Dobbins, 5 carries, 65 yards. Najee Harris had 10 carries, 49 yards for the Steelers. Jalen Warren had 5 carries for 48 yards. Isaiah Likely had a touchdown catch for Baltimore, giving them the 10-3 lead, and they will have the ball to start the second half.
I mean, you look at what we talked about before the game, Ryan, to what happened at halftime. Both teams, 19 runs. Baltimore Ravens have 9 passes. Pittsburgh has 10 passes. But again, both 19 runs. I would expect more of the same. Team with the least amount of mistakes is going to come out of this one on top. As we've mentioned, we pick out those 3 mistakes on Pittsburgh's side, especially that big penalty by Cam Hayward. The personal foul right before halftime gave Baltimore another play. They were going to settle for a field goal. They get the touchdown, and when Poitras to premium in a game like this, 10-3 lead is a pretty good lead.
Time for the start of the second half, sponsored by Prilosec OTC. Try Prilosec OTC with just 1 pill each morning. Experience a full 24 hours of zero heartburn. It's possible while taking Prilosec OTC. Use as directed for 14 days to treat frequent heartburn, not for immediate relief. Chris Boswell kicks it away from our left to our right. This one will head towards the back of the end zone, and the Ravens will start at their own 25. First down and 10. Ravens in the all-black uniforms tonight, black jerseys, black pants. They have the black helmets. Steelers in the white jerseys, gold pants, and black helmets. Ravens could still win the division with wins in their final 2 games. They'll face Cincinnati next week. Steelers still alive. They need to win a couple of games and get some help to find themselves in the postseason. Ravens first and 10 at the 25. Ball in between the hash marks. Pistol formation. Dobbins is the back behind Huntley. Receivers left and right. Here's the snap. Huntley back on a play fake. Steps up in the pocket. Has time. Looks. Throws left side. Caught by Andrews at the 35. Turns it up. Tries to hurdle a tackler. That doesn't go his way. Terrell Edmonds knocks him down at about the 38, maybe the 39-yard line. It will be good enough for a first down. A gain of 14 on the catch and run by Andrews.
Nice job of Huntley keeping clear of the rush and getting to Andrews. One thing I'd say to Mark, don't do that. I mean, that wasn't even close to that hurdle. May look good in a still shot. Other than that, not so much.
Yeah, it'll look great in that still photo, but didn't quite get the elevation he was looking for. First and 10 Ravens from their own 39. Dobbins lined up in the pistol behind Huntley. Single receiver split to the left. Huntley waits on the snap. He's got it. He'll hand it off. Dobbins hit in the backfield, spins away, keeps his feet, and actually gets across the 40 to the 41-yard line. One of the best 2-yard runs you'll ever see from J.K. Dobbins. To Marvin Leal with the tackle. Second down at 8.
Well, they're making some hits behind the line, just not able to wrap up right away and get the tackle for loss. Still a short gain there. Pittsburgh, by the way, since 2020 has won 8 games when trailing at halftime. So Pittsburgh fans, you have that going for you. See if they can pull one off again.
Yeah, a team that plays a lot of one-score games. Yeah. They're used to being in this type of position. Receivers left and right. Second and 8. Baltimore from its own 41. Ball to the near side left hash. Huntley in the gun with Dobbins to his left. Here's the snap. Huntley's going to keep it. Running to the right side hash. Wrapped up by Spillane. And driven backwards after a gain of a yard out to the 42. And it'll be third down and 7 now for the Ravens.
I do have to mention this just because of my association with it. Spillane is the late grandfather, Johnny Latner, 53 Heisman Trophy winner from Notre Dame.
Always find a way to work in your Irish, don't you?
Contractually obligated.
Hey, I'll tell you what, heck of a game for your Irish
sure
down in Jacksonville against South Carolina. That was a fun one.
Shane Beamer and Marcus Freeman, 2 young coaches who are doing a great job with their teams.
That's some good bowl games. Third and 7. Shotgun snap to Huntley now. Back to pass. Rush coming. Huntley throws over the middle. Andrews has it at the 50. Down to the 45. Knocked down at the 40-yard line of the Steelers. Minka Fitzpatrick makes the stop, but only after a gain of 18 yards. Huntley to Andrews again.
So 5 targets, 5 completions. T.J. Watt had an excellent rush, but as he turned the corner, his feet slipped out from under him as that field, I think, is starting to get ripped up just a little bit as we have a player down for the Steelers.
Steeler is down right over here on the Ravens sideline. Hard to see who it is from our vantage point.
I think it's Minka Fitzpatrick.
Fitzpatrick, who was selected for the Pro Bowl games. Third time in his career that he has been picked for the Pro Bowl. He was the guy that was in there trying to wrestle Mark Andrews to the ground, and Fitzpatrick is indeed down. They'll take a look at him. We'll step aside with 12:39 to go in the third quarter. Ravens on top of the Steelers 10-3. This is Westwood One's coverage of the National Football League.
Save now on appliances and more at the Truckload event at Lowe's. For a limited time, get up to an additional $600 off select major appliances and instant savings from top brands like Samsung, LG, and Whirlpool. And you can take home what you buy same day. Plus, get store-wide savings on even more items. Head to your local Lowe's store or visit Lowe's.com to shop the Truckload event today. Exclusions apply while supplies last. Selection varies by location. See Lowe's.com for details. Valid 12/29 for 1/4.
The Venture X card from Capital One gives you premium travel benefits, perfect for seeing Taylor Swift the Eras Tour, presented by Capital One. Oh, I do love her. Earn 5 times miles on flights and 10 times miles on hotels through Capital One Travel.
Enjoy your stay in Suite 13.
Whoa, 13? That's Taylor's lucky number. The Venture X card from Capital One. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
So I switched to Boost Mobile and got this free Samsung Galaxy A23 5G phone.
Why do you think they call it the Galaxy?
Maybe because the Samsung Galaxy A23 has a huge screen, and galaxies are huge gravitationally bound systems of stars rotating around a supermassive black hole.
And the phone is free?
When you switch to Boost Mobile.
Cool. You lost me at gravitationally bound.
Switch to Boost and get a free Samsung Galaxy A23 5G phone. Boost Mobile. Unleash your power. Limited time offer while supplies last. New customers only. Excludes tax. One device offer per line. Only available on certain networks. 5G not available everywhere. Additional restrictions apply. See your local Boost Mobile store for details.
The Venture X card from Capital One gives you premium travel benefits, perfect for seeing Taylor Swift the Eras Tour. Presented by Capital One. Oh, I do love her. Earn 5 times miles on flights and 10 times miles on hotels through Capital One Travel.
Enjoy your stay in Suite 13.
Whoa, 13? That's Taylor's lucky number. The Venture X card from Capital One. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. This is Westwood 1, your home for Sunday Night Football.
WFAN, WFAN FM, WFAN FM HD1, New York. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
Minka Fitzpatrick was able to get up and walk off under his own power with a limp. Ravens have it at the Steelers' 40-yard line, 1st and 10. DeMonte KZ takes over for Fitzpatrick in the backfield. And now this play is blown dead.
It's going to be 1st and 15, I believe.
Illegal snap. Offense number 64. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
Got Linderbaum, the center, a rookie first-rounder.
So with Minka Fitzpatrick, it looked like he rolled his ankle like a weekend warrior would do playing basketball, or maybe you would do off a curb or something. And it was a slight limb coming out the field. I have a feeling he'll be back, just as I know you would be back.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
Can't keep you down from crossing the street.
In 6 to 8 weeks, I'd be back. Backing up to the 45-yard line, 1st and 15. Pistol formation. Dobbins is the back behind. Huntley, single receiver, split to the left. Here's the snap. Handoff Dobbins, looking for room. It doesn't find any. Ball came out. Well, they're going to say that Dobbins was down, I believe, at the line of scrimmage. Ball came out at the very end. Huntley trying to scoop it up, but the officials say that J.K. Dobbins was down.
Progress and stop, 2nd down.
So Travius Adams on the tackle, no gain.
So that was a play again where they wanted to pull the backside left guard and tackle would be Powers and Stanley, but Cam Hayward blew it up. Just Pittsburgh, that D-line starting to kind of blow the gaps and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, and that play's not able to develop.
2nd down, 15 for the 45. Trips right, single man left. Huntley in the shotgun takes the snap, back to pass. Huntley looking left, nothing there. Rolling to his right, flag is down. Huntley's going to take off and run across the 40, spinning his way to the 35-yard line. Right now, that'll be a gain of 10, but that flag is in the area of holding.
Yeah, that was Morgan Moses, the right tackle.
Offense number 78. 10-yard penalty. 2nd down.
So now the Ravens starting to run into a couple of those mistakes that we talked about and getting themselves backed up behind the chains. 3rd penalty against the Ravens tonight. Seen it now on back-to-back plays.
Yeah, 2nd down at about 1.5 miles. So, but you have a long-distance kicker. So that's my thought process right now. Is you have 2 plays, maybe you get the 1st down, but at least 2 plays to try get 15 yards or so and get him. It'll be a long field goal, but get your guy in position.
Justice Hill in there is the running back now, lined up behind Huntley. 3 receivers go to the right. Hill moves up off to Huntley's right hip. Here's the snap. Huntley back to pass. Looking, throws left side for Andrews. He's got it, juggling it on the sideline and out of bounds at the Steelers' 35. Tyler Huntley again, given time, then buying a little more, moving to his left. He finds Andrews on the run. Devin Bush was in coverage. It's a gain of 20, and now it'll be 3rd and 6.
Well, Pittsburgh is a team with just 32 sacks on the year. That's 22nd in the league. Not enough pressure on the quarterback, and you get a quarterback who can move like Huntley. We have seen him break the pocket on both sides now, buy more time. And, boy, Andrews has just been the man tonight.
7 straight completions for Tyler Huntley. Minka Fitzpatrick is back on the field. This is 3rd and 6 from the 36. Huntley in the gun, takes the snap, looking left, under pressure, rolling left. He's going to tuck it and run. Huntley will be knocked out of bounds by Fitzpatrick right around the 35-yard line. Fans want a flag as Fitzpatrick wrapped him up as Huntley was in the middle of a spin. Huntley went down. There is no flag on the field. It'll be 4th down. And as you said now, Justin Tucker coming out trying for a long field goal.
Yeah, Minka Fitzpatrick was tackling him out of bounds, and Cam Hayward, who is probably playing a little angry right now because of that penalty he got right before halftime, just absolutely cleaned up Huntley. But it was a clean hit without question. Now we set up for that 51-yard field goal.
So Tucker coming on to try this one from 51 on the left hash. Nick Moore will snap. Jordan Stout will hold. Tucker says he's ready. Here's the kick on the way. End over end. It's got the distance, and it is good. Justin Tucker does it again, this time from 51. With that field goal, Barbasol will make another donation to Kurt and Brenda Warner's Treasure House, a living community for adults with disabilities. Barbasol, the trusted choice for a close, comfortable shave. Close Shave America, Close Shave Barbasol. 9:31 to go here in the third quarter. Ravens on top by 10. It's Baltimore 13, Pittsburgh 3. You're listening to Sunday Night Football on Westwood One.
Football season is underway, so now is the perfect time to download FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. Because right now, new customers get a no-sweat first bet up to $1,000. That's free bets back. If your first bet doesn't win, just sign up with the promo code WIN. FanDuel has all your favorite bets from the money line to point spreads to player props. So sign up today with promo code WIN for your no-sweat first bet. Make every moment more this season with FanDuel, an official sportsbook partner of the NFL.
Must be present in state where lawful to wager. 21 plus in select states. First online real money wager. Only refund issued is non-withdrawable free bets that expire in 14 days. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Visit fanduel.com/RG. Colorado, Iowa, Michigan, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Illinois, Virginia. 1-800-NEXT-STEP or text NEXT-STEP to 53342. Arizona 1-800-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org/check. Connecticut 1-800-9-WITH-IT. Indiana, Kansas 1-800-522-4700 or visit ksgamblinghelp.com. Louisiana 1-877-770-STOP. New York 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. Tennessee Redline 1-800-889-9789. Wyoming, West Virginia 1-800-522-4700 or visit 1-800-GAMBLER.net.
So I switched to Boost Mobile and got this free Samsung Galaxy A23 5G phone.
Why do you think they call it the Galaxy?
Maybe because the Samsung Galaxy A23 has a huge screen, and galaxies are huge gravitationally bound systems of stars rotating around a supermassive black hole.
And the phone is free?
When you switch to Boost Mobile.
Cool. You lost me at gravitationally bound.
Switch to Boost and get a free Samsung Galaxy A23 5G phone. Boost Mobile. Unleash your power. Limited time offer while supplies last. New customers only. Excludes tax. One device offer per line. Only available on certain networks. 5G not available everywhere. Additional restrictions apply. See your local Boost Mobile store for details.
Time for the Dell Small Business Fact of the Game. This is the 33rd meeting between John Harbaugh and Mike Tomlin tonight. Tomlin, by the way, holds a 17-15 edge in the series. But that's the second most by a pair of opposing head coaches in NFL history. The only pair that matched up more, Curly Lambeau and George Halas, had 49 meetings in their day. It's the Fact of the Game, sponsored by Dell Small Business. Dell Technologies provides growing businesses with the tools to do incredible things. For advice on smart PCs powered by Intel vPro that's built for business, call a Dell Technologies advisor at 877-ASK-DELL.
I mean, we get notes before these games when we do, and we go through them and stuff. And that's one of the best notes I've ever seen, especially that don't involve any players. And just these two coaches who are two of the most respected coaches in this league, without question. Incredible tenures at their respective teams now. And that was amazing, going all the way back to Curly Lambeau and George Halas.
Justin Tucker ready to kick it away. On the approach, here comes the end-over-end kick. Steven Sims backing up into the end zone. He's got it, and he will drop to his knee. Boy, he was flirting with the goal line. He was only about a yard into the end zone. And he dropped down to a knee, and I think even as he was doing it, he thought, uh-oh.
Yeah. That could have been another mistake on the Pittsburgh side, but luckily it wasn't, so they get it 25.
Well, just to pick up on the point you're talking about, Tomlin and Harbaugh, the success they've had. Ravens in the playoffs this year, 10th time in 15 years under Harbaugh. Meanwhile, Mike Tomlin, he's never had a losing season. They've never been under 500. That streak would end tonight if the Steelers lose. Kenny Pickett of the gun, 1st and 10 for the 25. Back to pass, looks right, throws, pass batted in the air and incomplete. Pickett trying to get that ball out to the sideline, and Brent Urban got his paw up there to swat it away. It'll be 2nd down and 10.
Well, that's what 6-7 will get you, right? When you're rushing to the outside, if you're not going to get there, get in the line of the path and get your hands up. I know that well because that was me. When you don't get to the quarterback, get in the eyesight of the quarterback and get your hands up.
Steelers 18 straight years, 500 or better. It's the second longest streak since the merger, third longest in NFL history.
Started when Ben got here, right, in 04.
Pickett under center, 2nd down and 10. Here's a handoff. Najee Harris running right across the 30, 35, still going to the 40-yard line. So Najee Harris picks up 15 yards. Patrick Queen on the stop. First down run, Najee Harris. The Steelers, slowly but surely this year, Mike, have gotten that running game going closer to what they expect.
Yeah, they really have. And as I mentioned earlier, Najee Harris, his stats of rushes and rushing TDs and rushing attempts has increased while the passing for Pickett has decreased. over the last 6-7 games.
Harris coming into tonight, 15th in the NFL in rushing, 843 yards. 11 carries, 64 tonight. Here's a handoff on first down to Harris, running along the left hash. And he works his way out to about the 43-yard line. Adafe Owe on the stop, gain of 3. That'll bring up second down and 7 with 8:36 to go in the third quarter. 13-3, Baltimore on top.
The nice play, though, before getting on that second and 10 after the deflected pass. I was thinking if they don't gain some yards, that could have been a 3 and out.
Slot right, single man left. Second down, 7. Pittsburgh at its own 43. Sims in motion from right to left. Here's the snap. Handoff. Harris hit in the backfield. Bounces off. Running right. Owe is there. Wraps him up. Gets help from his friends. And they drive him down back around the 36. Najee Harris bounced that one to the right and right into the waiting arms of Owe. Matabike helped clean it up, and now it'll be 3rd and long.
Matabike was the first one. He absolutely destroyed Mason Cole, the center. Just shoved him 2 yards back into the backfield and made first contact, and then all the friends showed up.
Loss of 7 on the play. It'll be 3rd and 14. Steelers 4 of 7 on third down in the game, but this is not where they want to be. Pickett all by his lonesome in the gun. 3 receivers left, 2 receivers right. Pickett takes the snap, back to pass. Has time, looking, throws left side numbers, and it's caught. A leaping catch up at midfield by Pickens, and that's going to be a first down. What a catch. Pickens leaving his feet, snaring it on his fingertips right at midfield in front of Brandon Stevens. First catch of the ball game for Pickens, and a spectacular one at that.
That ball was coming 100 miles an hour, too, and he just stabbed it out of the air. Coming into this game, 3rd most receiving touchdowns by a rookie this year. But, man, did they need that one on 3rd and long.
Steelers will go with 3 receivers, bunched right, single man left, 1st and 10 from midfield. Pickett lifts that right leg, gets the shotgun snap, back to pass, looking to his right, under pressure, moving right now, spinning to his left, looking, throwing short. That's caught by Warren at midfield. He's across the 45-yard line, down to about the Baltimore 44. Roquan Smith on the stop, gain of 6 yards. Good job by Kenny Pickett buying himself some time. It'll be second down and 4.
Both these quarterbacks have been doing a great job tonight of either getting out of the pocket or keeping a play alive to make something happen. Because I tell you, the longer they hold on to the ball and are able to pass it downfield, the more likely someone's going to be open dropping out of coverage.
Clock moving, 6:13 to go in the third quarter. 13-3 Baltimore, second down and 4 Pittsburgh from the Ravens 44. Pickett, hands under center. Here's the snap. He's back. He'll hand it off to Warren. He stumbles and falls forward. He got back to the line of scrimmage. Just lost his footing there as he tried to drive ahead. No gain on the play. Kyle Hamilton was there to touch him down. And that'll bring up a 3rd down and 4. You thought that might happen, Mike, as this game goes on. A little slick down there on the field.
Yeah, they didn't cover it last night, and it was definitely a little slick in pregame as I was watching the kickers kick. Some turf was coming up, and I thought in the second half, especially between the hashes, it would start to get beat up a little bit.
3rd down and 4. They need the Ravens 40 for a first down. Pickett in the gun, 2 receivers stacked right, single man left. Warren to the backfield to Pickett's right. Pickett wants the shotgun snap. He's got it back to throw, looking right, finds Warren, turns it up. He's got the first down across the 40 and knocked out of bounds around the 38-yard line. So Kenny Pickett finds Jalen Warren out of the backfield. Kyle Hamilton on the stop and a first down for the Steelers. Injured Steeler on the play. That's Deontay Johnson, their leading wide receiver.
Yeah, he was right in the middle of the field, nowhere near the play, and went down and grabbed his ankle. He got up and tried to limp off, and Kenny Pickett went over to him and said, just get down, stay down until we see what's wrong with you.
Now, the trainers will come out and have a look at Deontay Johnson. And we will step aside with 5:15 to go in the third quarter. Ravens lead the Steelers 13-3. You're listening to Sunday Night Football on Westwood One.
New Jack Link's Barbecue Pork Tender Bites. A mouth-watering, sweet, and savory bite-sized barbecue snack. Because if barbecue wants to be a flavor and a patio appliance, Jack Link's is good with it. Available at a Walmart near you.
With a Peppermint Frosty, time to enjoy yourself is built in. You're welcome. They're so rich and creamy, a straw just won't cut it. And finishing one, it's not something you could speed through. So check your watch. Is it Frosty time yet? And by that, we mean, is it time for a moment with just you and your Frosty kicking back and doing whatever goes best with the chillest treat of the season? These Peppermint Frosty treats are going fast, so when it's time for Frosty time, choose wisely. Choose Wendy's.
The
NFL season finale is here, and the race to the playoffs is on.
We fly around, we regulate, we dominate.
Don't miss 2 days packed with a full slate of games and epic matchups.
Are you kidding me with what just happened? There's no way.
It's one last chance to show out and change the playoff picture.
And ain't nobody gonna stop us. Makes the catch for a touchdown.
The NFL season finale.
Yes, sir.
Saturday, January 7th and Sunday, January 8th.
Barbasol Shaving Cream is available in 5 fantastic flavors to customize your close shave. Whether it's original, soothing aloe, or Pacific Rush, there's one for every face. Find your favorite Barbasol today.
Barbasol. Ryan Radke, Mike Golick, you're in the Grainger broadcast booth in Baltimore. Just like football, your business wins with speed. Grainger's fast delivery means industrial supplies and solutions get to you at the speed you need. Call with Grainger.com or stop by. 5:15 to go third quarter. Ravens 13, Steelers 3. Deontay Johnson able to get up and walk toward that Pittsburgh sideline. Well, the Steelers are not deep at the wide receiver spot, and Johnson, their leading receiver. That's a big loss to have him out of the lineup, especially when you're trying to come back from down 10.
Haven't called Farmer's name this half yet. He was a little more active in the first half, and already we're on 8 plays and over 4 minutes on this drive, and still 39 yards away from the end zone.
You know, Mike, it's interesting. You look at our 2 quarterbacks tonight. Tyler Huntley is 10 of 12 for 92 yards. Kenny Pickett is 8 of 14, 68 yards. Not exactly Mahomes-like numbers, but I feel like both these guys have played well for what they've been asked to do.
I think that's the perfect line for what they're asked to do, and I think the best part of it is they've kept the plays alive, either rolling out or staying live in the pocket to make the play down the field.
From the Ravens 38, first down and 10. Pickett under center, takes the snap, handoff Harris, running left outside the hash, gets out of an ankle tackle, dives across the 35. And he's down to about the 34-yard line. Tackle made there after a gain of 4 yards. Rashad Nichols, rookie out of Stephen F. Austin, made the stop. That'll bring up a second down and 6. Clock moving. 4:45 to go here in quarter number 3. Still plenty of time for the Steelers. They need a win tonight and next week, plus some help to get into the postseason. Deontay Johnson is back in the ballgame. 1 of 2 receivers stacked to the right. Pickett single man left. Gentry, the tight end, in motion from right to left. Pistol formation. Pickett takes the snap. Handoff Harris running outside the left hash, and he's got nothing there. Met by a host of black jerseys and driven backwards. Maybe got a yard. Urban and Nichols combine on the stop. That'll bring up third down. A place that Pittsburgh has been pretty comfortable tonight. 6 of 9 on third down in the game.
And they've been short third downs. This is actually one of the longer ones at 3rd and 5. Again, here's where I look for Freiermuth a bit. Did just enough to move the sticks. That's all you need to do.
They need to get the ball across the 30 to the 29-yard line. Pickett lines up in the shotgun, and we've got a timeout taken by the Ravens. So Baltimore will spend its first timeout with 3:52 to go here in the third quarter. Tune in to watch all the excitement of the NFL next Sunday on Fox. Check your local listings for games and times in your area. Catch the NFL on Fox. And a lot to be decided going into the last week of the season. There's still a lot of seeding things to sort out. Still going to be some spots open in the postseason. The Green Bay Packers keeping their hopes alive with not just a win, but a blowout win against the Minnesota Vikings at Lambeau Field today.
Yeah, we always have to end up wondering about the Vikings. You know, they look so good, and then how good are they? And it was a bad loss today for them. And then it gets interesting. Teams that are kind of locked into where they are, do you rest players, for a week or 2 if you have that bye? That's always a big discussion coming to the end of the year.
And meanwhile, the Philadelphia Eagles, who a couple of weeks ago looked like they were a lock for the number 1 seed, home field throughout, they're going to have to win next week to get that number 1 seed, or they might be going on the road in the first round of the playoffs.
I'd imagine you'll see Jalen Hurts next week.
He was close to practice this week. So here we go now. This is third down, about 4.5 for the Steelers. Warren in the backfield now motions out to the right, 1 of 3 receivers to that side. Picking in the gun, takes the snap, back to pass, looking, hit as he throws left side, incomplete, off the hands of Johnson. Boy, Kenny Pickett took a shot. Kyle Hamilton was coming on the blitz, and Pickett is slow getting up. The throw was off the hands of Deontay Johnson, and on fourth down, Chris Boswell coming out for his third field goal attempt of the night.
Yeah, Kyle Hamilton, who is a safety, but is a big one at 6'4", little over 220 pounds, and he rushed to the side that Pickett was facing, so got to be a little aware and see that, and man, he took a shot.
So Boswell will attempt a 51-yarder from the right hash. Here's the snap, ball down. Boswell's kick is on the way. It's got the distance, and it is good. So Chris Boswell drills it, and with that field goal, Barbasol will make another donation to Kurt and Brenda Warner's Treasure House, a living community for adults with disabilities. Barbasol, the trusted choice for a close, comfortable shave. Close Shave America. Close Shave Barbasol. 3:42 to go, third quarter. It's now the Ravens 13 and the Steelers 6. You're listening to Sunday Night Football on Westwood One.
And now a message from Puffs Plus Lotion Tissues. Ordinary tissues can leave you with a red nose, so choose Puffs Plus Lotion for all of your blows. Puffs have lotion to soothe sensitive skin, so you can wipe without wincing. It's a win-win. Puffs have cushiony thickness, which brings relief too, so the days of sore red noses are gone and through. When you're after soothing softness, a nose in need deserves Puffs indeed.
Did you know Nissan EVs have traveled 8 billion miles? Just a quick trip to Pluto and back. And what did we learn along the way? Well, that an EV can take on the world, like the Nissan Leaf. It can move racing forward and take your breath away, like the all-new Nissan Aria. We learned to make EVs that electrify. 8 billion miles driven by Leaf owners globally since 2010. Aria not yet available for purchase. Expected availability late fall, subject to change.
Well, this season, for the first time, you can hear every Westwood One NFL broadcast streamed live for free. Catch all the action on the NFL app on WestwoodOneSports.com via Westwood One station streams or by asking Alexa to open Westwood One Sports. All sponsored by AutoZone. It's time to say goodnight to that check engine light with a free AutoZone Fix Finder service. It'll help troubleshoot the likely cause of your light for free. Restrictions apply. Get in the zone. AutoZone.
Got some good plays there by your young core for Pittsburgh, between Pickett staying alive to make some passes, for Pickens to make a big catch, and Najee Harris making a couple big runs. So, I mean, this is what this team is going to build around on the offensive side of the ball.
Chris Boswell hitting the 51-yarder to cap it off. Boswell now 7 of 9 this year from 50-plus. And he draws the Steelers to within 7, down 13-6 with 3:42 to go. Here in the third quarter, another close game between these two teams. You talked earlier about how the Steelers, a team that has won a lot of games when trailing at the half, when trailing after 3 quarters. The last couple of years, very familiar spot for them. As Boswell gets set to kick it away, Justice Hill bouncing around, a couple of yards deep in the end zone. If you haven't been with us tonight, just a gorgeous night for football here in Baltimore, right around 50 degrees at kickoff, no wind. Just 1 week after they had the coldest game ever in this stadium, single digits. Boswell on the approach. Here comes an end-over-end kick. Hill waiting, and he's going to let this one head over his head, bounce about 4 yards deep in the end zone, and the Ravens will start at the 25, first and 10.
So again, we'll see where it goes, because what you said earlier, I agree with. Both Pickett and Huntley have been doing a nice job for what they've been asked to do. Huntley has done a great job of breaking out of the pocket when he's needed to, and they've run a couple planned quarterback power runs as well.
And when he's passed, he's found Mark Andrews. Andrews, 6 targets, 6 catches, 73 yards. Everybody else combined has 4 catches for 19 yards tonight. First and 10 Ravens from the 25. Huntley in the gun with Dobbins to his right. Sammy Watkins, single wide receiver, split to the right side. Oliver, the tight end, goes in motion from left to right. Here's the snap. Handoff Dobbins, running left, gets tripped up, keeps his feet across the 30, 35, 40, down the sideline, 45, and Minka Fitzpatrick finally runs him out of bounds. Well, it looked like Dobbins had a lane. He stumbled but kept his feet and was able to exploit that lane and take it all the way up to the 49-yard line. That's the gain of 24.
I'll keep saying it, bread and butter, guard and tackle. This time it's the right side. Zeitler and Moses pulling around, kick out, turn up, and give a big hole for your running back.
And then it was Ricard on the second level throwing a block to help get him free. First down and 10. Ravens have it. They're going to move it back now. They have it to the 49. They're moving it back to the 47. So taking some yards away from J.K. Dobbins. Making a run of 22. Huntley in the shotgun. Watkins out wide to the right. Oliver again in motion out to the right. Here's the snap. Handoff Dobbins straight ahead. And J.K. Dobbins this time for a couple of yards. To Marvin Leal. We've been talking about him a whole lot tonight. Jumps on the back with J.K. Dobbins. 2-yard run. That'll be second down and 8. A name we haven't called a lot tonight, Mike, is T.J. Watt.
We have not. He's been rushing wide. He's been getting kicked out by Ricard. He's made some contact behind the line, made a couple of tackles, but at times created kind of a hole from rushing up the field a little too far and giving the running back a bigger hole.
Second down 8 from the 49. Receivers left and right. Pistol formation. Edwards is the back behind Huntley. Ricard goes in motion from left to right. Huntley gets the snap. Back on a play fake. Watt coming, and he sacked him inside the 40-yard line. Just when we were talking about him, T.J. Watt comes blasting off the edge for his 5th sack of the year. Loss of 10 back to the 39-yard line. T.J. Watt doing what he does best.
Well, again, now this is 8 straight times against the Ravens with at least a half a sack. That was a full one there, but he gets to the quarterback against Baltimore. He gets quarterback against anybody.
12 career sacks against the Ravens. Only team he has more against is Cleveland with 14.5. But now it's 3rd and 18. Huntley in the gun, slot right, single man left. Here's the snap. Huntley back to pass, looks, throws over the middle, caught by Likely. He's up to midfield, leaning into Steelers territory, and then is shoved backwards. So he gets progress just across the midfield stripe. Fitzpatrick and KZ combine on the stop. Be a gain of about 11 or 12, but short of the first down, and the Ravens will punt it away.
But a good gain, in a chess match field position game, you gain those yards. It gives Jordan Stout, the punter, a chance to bury him inside the 10-yard line here.
Then standing right at the 10-yard line as Stout is into punt formation. 11 yards officially on that pass play to Likely. 4th down and 7. Here's the snap. Stout drops the nose of the football. End-over-end punt. Sims signaling for a fair catch, and he's got it down on his knees at the 10-yard line. And that's where the Steelers will have it. Now a flag is down. Flag thrown back behind the line of scrimmage. So the officials will talk about this.
This involved Derek Watt from Pittsburgh. I don't know if it was a personal foul, if it was a hold. A lot of discussion going on with the referees. Maybe it'll be nothing.
And Clark is ready to clue us in.
During the kick, holding, receiving team number 37. 10-yard penalty, first down, Pittsburgh.
But again, that was during the kick, and so the Steelers will maintain possession. Should be half the distance to the goal. They'll back them up to the 5. It's time to gear up for the NFL postseason. Head over to NFLShop.com. NFL Shop is your ultimate destination for jerseys, T-shirts, headwear, and more. To shop now, go to NFLShop.com for a special offer. Which would Mike Golick Oilers jersey at NFLShop.com?
Wow. Number 68.
Wow.
They actually
was 68?
Well, you're a 10th rounder. You know what? I was happy? They gave me a jersey.
Better taking it away, I guess.
Yeah, exactly right.
Back it up to the 5-yard line. It'll be first down and 10 from there. Pick it under center, takes the snap, handoff. Harris starts right, cuts left, has a lane all the way out to the numbers across the 10 and out to the 15. That's going to be close to a first down. See if they give him the 15. Marcus Williams, Roquan Smith together on the stop. It looks like that's going to be a run of 10 yards and a Pittsburgh first down.
I really like the way he runs. He's so patient. He was up the middle, stayed patient there, and did a quick jump cut to the outside as the outside edge for Baltimore crashed down and got the edge.
Well, they're going to say, I guess, the nose of the ball is short, so it's officially a 9-yard run, second down and 1. Pick it under center with Harris behind it. Oshepsky in motion from the right. Here's the snap. Handoff Harris running right side. Not much there. Harris gets stacked up and driven backwards. Well, did the nose of the ball make the line to gain this time? They were only short by about an inch. Smith and Broderick Washington together on the tackle. The Steelers are signaling first down. The officials are going to take a look. They'll decide during the quarter break. End of 3 here in Baltimore with the score. The Ravens 13, the Steelers 6. You're listening to Sunday Night Football on Westwood One.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone.
thinking about gas mileage? If your check engine light is on, it may be affecting your MPGs. But the free AutoZone Fix Finder service can help. With the most complete free warning light report backed by technician-verified fixes, you'll know what's affecting your gas mileage and more. And you don't have to drive too far to find the fix. The free AutoZone Fix Finder service is available at all 6,200 stores.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
See details at AutoZone.com.
This winter, Hulu and Disney Plus are better together in a brand new bundle.
That's wicked. Wicked good.
With titles like Disenchanted and Willow on Disney Plus. And Fleischman is in Trouble and Welcome to Chippendales on Hulu.
I love this place.
All for just $9.99 a month. All of these and more now streaming. 18 and over only. Access content from each service separately. Offer valid for eligible subscribers only. Terms apply. See the DisneyBundle.com for details.
Getting a tattoo of your team's mascot on your arm and your back and your face. Who's the mascot now? Jack Links is good with it. Pick up Jack Links at a store near you.
Feeling great starts with a great shave, and a great shave starts with Barbasol Shaving Cream. That's Barbasol Shaving Cream, an American classic for over 100 years. You're looking good, America. You're shaving with Barbasol.
Barbasol. Welcome back to M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore, along with Mike Golick. I'm Ryan Radke. Our score, the Ravens 13, the Steelers 6. Start of the fourth quarter is sponsored by Oral-B. Oral-B's round brush head cleans 100% better than a regular brush, so you can get that purifying, clean feeling like you just left the dentist. Oral-B, brush like a pro. They did give Najee Harris 1 yard on that last run, so it'll be 1st and 10 Pittsburgh to start the fourth quarter from their own 15-yard line. But the Steelers, they've won a lot of games trailing after 3, Mike.
Yes, they have. Down 13-6 now since 2020. They've won 10 games when trailing after 3. So, see if they can continue that or not.
With that last run, Najee Harris now 17 carries, 76 yards in the game. Kenny Pickett, 8 of 15, just 68 yards throwing. We knew coming in this was not going to be a game with a couple of quarterbacks throwing for 300 yards. Run the ball, stop the run, don't make mistakes. 1st and 10, Steelers at their own 15, moving right to left. Steelers in the white jerseys, gold pants, and black helmets. Ravens in all black tonight. Pickett under center, receivers left and right, takes the snap, handoff. This is Harris straight ahead, bouncing out to the left side across the 20 to the 25, ducks the shoulder, powers through defenders, out close to the 30-yard line. Najee Harris always seeking contact, found it at the end from Chuck Clark and Roquan Smith, picks up 15 and a first down.
Didn't I just say I love the way he runs? Man, again, right up the gut, patient, gains about 5 up the middle, then bounces to the outside. You're right. He was by the sideline, and he didn't run to it. He started going north and south and just lowered his 235 pounds of shoulder into the defender.
1st and 10, Steelers now from the 30. Ball is on the near side, left pass. Jalen Warren checks in and running back. Slot right, single man left, Pickett on the gun, has the snap, back to pass, looking, under pressure, steps up, Pickett throws, right sideline, caught! Receiver down at his knee, Pickett's on the sideline, up at the 45-yard line. So Kenny Pickett again buying time and finds George Pickens dropping to a knee. Brandon Stevens was in coverage, gain of 15.
While we've said this wasn't going to be a fantasy player quarterback for either team, these guys are doing a great job of buying more time, and they're not really worried about running when they break the pocket. They're looking downfield to make a play with their arm.
Kyle Hamilton came on the blitz. He got right around Okorafor, the right tackle, but Pickett stepped up and away from it. 1st and 10, Steelers now. High snap, pulled down by Pickett. Give it to Warren, running straight ahead between the hash marks, and he's out across midfield. So Jalen Warren rips off a 6-yard run. Jason Pierre-Paul on the stop, and now getting some of that pushing and shoving. Everybody just staying high here as we get into the fourth quarter. This is what you expect when these two teams get together.
That was Hamilton and Okorafor who were jawing a little bit there. Hamilton really trying to get after him a little bit, the rookie from Notre Dame. But I'll tell you, Pittsburgh has been doing a great job of getting down in 2nd and 3rd down and very, very manageable. And that makes it so much easier, again, on a rookie quarterback.
Najee Harris back in the ball game. He lines up as the single back, 2nd down and 4. They're going to hand it off to Jalen Warren, instead sweeping right across the 45. He's got a first down. So Warren lining up in the left slot, took the handoff, running out to the right. Patrick Queen on the tackle, but it's a gain of 7 yards and a first down for Jalen Warren and the Steelers.
So what I like about that play when they run it is a lot of times on that jet sweep, the runner will really try and take it to the outside. Warren saw his opportunity to plant that right foot and get north and south, and he took it and got the first down.
From the Baltimore 42 now, 1st and 10. Ravens lead 13-6, 12:27 to go in the game. 3 receivers left, 2 receivers right. Kenny Pickett in the shotgun. Takes the snap, back to pass, looking left, rush coming. Pickett throws, tipped and incomplete. Could have been intercepted. I don't think Kyle Hamilton saw it. The pass was deflected by Broderick Washington. It was working its way toward Hamilton, and I don't think he ever saw that ball, as it seemed to go right past it.
Justin Houston had a heck of a rush, and Pickett had to bail out of that one, got knocked down at the end of the play, but Joe Wright, ball gets tipped like that, normally that's a pick.
Adafe Owe was there as well. Either he or Hamilton could secure it. So 2nd down and 10 now. Quick snap. Pickett's going to hand it off Harris. Running left along the hash across the 40-yard line. Out towards the numbers and down towards the 36. Owe on the stop, but Najee Harris is patiently working his way forward. Picks up 6 more. He's now got 97 yards rushing in the ball game.
Brian, this football game, man, these guys are hitting. Oh, these guys are hitting out here. This is awesome.
Well, you called it an ice bag game early on. 3rd and 4 from the 36. Pickett in the gun, slot right, single man left. Here's the snap. Pickett back, looks right, throws right, got a man. That's caught on the sideline by Johnson. Spins out of a tackle, racing across the 20, down to the 15, and knocked out of bounds. Deontay Johnson coming back for it. Got out of the initial tackle, went down the right sideline for 21. Marcus Williams on the stop, and the Steelers, who began this drive with their own 5, are in the red zone, 1st and 10.
That is just a great, great route. Brandon Stevens then on the defensive side was not able to make the tackle. If you're going to give up the catch, you got to make the tackle. He didn't do either one there.
Steelers 1st and 10 at the Ravens 15. Pittsburgh 7 of 11 on 3rd down of the game now. 2 receivers left, including Oshefsky, who goes in motion to the right. Handoff Warren straight ahead, and he is wrapped up quickly by Brent Urban and pulled down to the ground after a short gain of 2. 2nd down at 8, inside 11 minutes remaining. Ravens lead the Steelers 13-6. Pittsburgh threatening. Can they get into the end zone? Steelers this year, touchdowns on 53% of their red zone possessions, tied for 17th in the NFL coming into this week. Meanwhile, the Ravens, one of the best red zone defenses, 4th in the league in allowing touchdowns. Pickett lines up in the gun. 2 receivers left, single man right. Here's the snap. Pickett will hand it off to Warren. Hit immediately by Urban and brought down for a loss. Brent Urban in there tonight for Calais Campbell and making his presence felt. That'll be a loss of 2 and bring up 3rd and 10.
Saw him block a pass earlier in the game with his 6'7" frame. Now, as you mentioned, out of D tackle. Does a great job of kind of going behind the guard that was blocking him, who was going to the 2nd level. Tackle couldn't get to him, and he makes the play in the backfield.
Go to the Steelers, have some more 3rd down magic now. 3rd down at 10. Football at the Ravens 15. Pickett of the gun with Warren to his left. With receivers left and right, fans on their feet. Pickett lifts that right leg, waits on the shotgun snap. He's got his face mask high. Back to pass, looks, throws left side for the end zone, incomplete. Trying to get it to Sims. Good coverage back there by Brandon Stevens, and on 4th down, the Pittsburgh field goal unit is coming out.
That's a good stop by Baltimore. It's a good drive by Pittsburgh, but they can't close it out. Can't put one in the end zone.
Boswell 2 of 3 on field goals tonight. He's hit from 21 and 51. Banged one off the right upright from 48. This one will be from 33 on the right hash. Trying to make it a 4-point game. Boswell takes a look at the uprights. Here's the snap, ball down. Kick is on the way, and that one is right down the middle, and it is good. So with 9:44 remaining in the game, the Steelers draw within 4. Ravens 13, Steelers 9. This is Westwood One's coverage of the National Football League.
So I switched to Boost Mobile and got this free Samsung Galaxy A23 5G phone.
Why do you think they call it the Galaxy?
Maybe because the Samsung Galaxy A23 has a huge screen, and galaxies are huge gravitationally bound systems of stars rotating around a supermassive black hole.
And the phone is free?
When you switch to Boost Mobile.
Cool.
You lost me at gravitationally bound.
Switch to Boost and get a free Samsung Galaxy A23 5G phone. Boost Mobile. Unleash your power. Limited time offer while supplies last. New customers only. Excludes tax. One device offer per line. Only available on certain networks. 5G not available everywhere. Additional restrictions apply. See local Boost Mobile store for details.
If you own a business, this has been a bumpy ride. From pandemic to inflation, I'm sure you could use a break. If your business has 5 or more employees and survived COVID, you might be eligible to receive a payroll tax refund of up to $26,000 per employee. The challenge is getting your hands on it. Hi, I'm Howard Mackler, and that's why I founded GetRefunds.com to cut through the red tape and get you the money. The team of tax attorneys we have put together are highly trained in this little-known payroll tax refund program. We do all the work, charge not a dime up front, and simply share a percentage of the cash that we get for you. Businesses of all types can qualify, including those that took PPP, nonprofits, and even those that had increases in sales. We have helped return over $1 billion to businesses, and we can help you too. Just go to getrefunds.com/sports. Click on Qualify Me and answer a few questions. This payroll tax refund is only available for a limited period of time. Don't lose out on up to $26,000 per employee. Go to getrefunds.com/sports. That's getrefunds.com/sports.
At Staples, you can count on every project being print perfect, guaranteed.
I need presentations and brochures printed, and they have to be perfect.
Your bounded presentations, brochures with the finest folds, and more will be done right every time. That's our Print Big promise. Now at Staples, get $10 off your document printing and marketing materials order of $50 or more, plus 20% back by a store bonus. Try Staples and see the difference. Ends 2/11. Rewards members only. Bonus must be redeemed in store. See staples.com/stores/printbig for details.
Brian Radke, Mike Golick here in the Grainger broadcast booth in Baltimore. Field position is everything. And with over 250 Grainger brand locations, the right supplies and solutions for your industry are always right where you need them. Call, click, or stop by Grainger today. 9:44 to go in the game. Ravens 13, Steelers 9. If the Steelers don't win this game, Mike, they will look at their inability to get in the end zone once they've been in the red zone.
Without a doubt. Had some nice drives, but mistakes have cost them, and then the Baltimore defense played well there to stop them. But, got to knock it in the end zone. He looked more and more back on that personal foul by Cam Hayward at the end of the half to give Baltimore another play to get in the end zone.
Our only touchdown of the game, Chris Boswell with an end-over-end kick. Justice Hill has it at the 5-yard line. Runs straight ahead across the 10, out of the 15, sidesteps the man, 20, 25, runs outside right 30, 35, 40, down the sideline, 45, 50, 45 to the 40, and finally brought down. Justice Hill with a big return down the right sideline all the way to the Steelers 39. It's a 62-yard return, and the Ravens are set up with excellent field position.
Boy, what a fantastic play. Great blocking on the return. Too many arm tackle tries by the Steelers on the kickoff team, and just a great run bouncing it to the outside.
Arthur Millette made the touchdown-saving tackle on Justice Hill. They'll move it back to the 40. That's where the Ravens will start. First down and 10. Pistol formation. Dobbins the back behind Huntley. Receivers left and right. Huntley wants the snap, has the snap. Hand off. Dobbins off the left side. Nothing there. And Dobbins will go down for a loss of a couple, and it was T.J. Watt knifing through to make the play. Loss of about 3 on the play. Second and long coming up.
Boy, T.J. Watt coming down. Cam Hayward coming straight up the gut. 2 big-time leaders on this team making a big-time play there. T.J. Watt is so fast off the ball.
Last 6 years, nobody in the NFL has more sacks, quarterback hits, or forced fumbles. Only Aaron Donald, more tackles for loss. Here's the snap. Huntley fakes the handoff, looking left, looking right, under pressure, steps up, throws right side, incomplete. Trying to get it to Josh Oliver inside the 20-yard line. Minka Fitzpatrick was in coverage. And now it'll be third down coming up. Leal and Watt providing the pressure on Tyler Huntley. And boy, if the Steelers could get out of this after that big kick return, man, that'd be big.
I mean, to even keep them out of field goal range, though, I guess technically they're in it.
Huntley, his first incompletion after 8 in a row. Now, as you say, obviously looking for the first down, but if not, can they just get 5 or 6 yards, make it a little bit easier on Justin Tucker? Huntley in the gun, slot left, single man right. Huntley throws over the middle, incomplete. Likely had it in his hands, got popped by Edmonds, and the ball came out. Steelers picked it up, began running the other way, but an incomplete pass And on fourth down,
interesting.
They're going to bring out the punting unit.
This would be about a 60-yard field goal. We know Tucker has the NFL record at 66?
66 last year.
It would be about a 60-yarder here.
He did kick a 60-yarder in warm-ups in this direction. But they bring out Stout, the punter, trying to pin the Steelers deep. Stout takes the snap. Here comes his kick. End over end boot. Sims signals for a fair catch, backs up, and he's got it right around the 8-yard line. So a good punt by George Stout. Steelers will be backed up again. 8 minutes, 41 seconds to go in the game. Ravens 13, Steelers 9. You're listening to Sunday Night Football on Westwood One.
At Charmin, we heard you shouldn't talk about going to the bathroom in public, so we decided to sing about it.
Get up so strong for your South Pole. Charmin keeps your undies whiter than the North Pole. A tiny hiney, a brand new year. Color us Charmin, Happy New Year. May your holidays be charming, clean, merry, and bright. May all your undies be charming, clean, white.
Charmin Ultra Strong just cleans better. Enjoy the go with Charmin.
With a peppermint frosty, time to enjoy yourself is built in. You're welcome. They're so rich and creamy, a straw just won't cut it. And finishing one, it's not something you can speed through. So check your watch. Is it frosty time yet? And by that, we mean, is it time for a moment with just you and your frosty, kicking back and doing whatever goes best with the chillest treat of the season? These peppermint frosty treats are going fast, so when it's time for frosty time, choose wisely. Choose Wendy's.
Scott Graham from our Westwood One studios. A look at the Week 17 scoreboard. Tampa Bay won their division today. Knocked off Carolina 30-24, but Philadelphia Eagles didn't do the same. New Orleans upset them in Philly 20-10. New York Giants punched the dance card to the playoffs for the first time since 2016. They beat Indy 38-10. Green Bay's got the inside track next week for the last NFC spot. They beat Minnesota today 41-17. San Francisco won for the 9th time in a row, winning in overtime at Vegas 37-34. Seattle's still alive in the NFC. They eliminated the New York Jets today 23-6. Detroit is still alive too. They knocked off the Bears today 41-10 in Detroit. Meantime, Cleveland beat Washington in D.C. 24-10. The Commanders are now out of the playoff race. New England's got the inside track in the AFC after beating Miami today 23-21. Miami is still alive. Kansas City knocks off Denver 27-24. It was Jacksonville over Houston 31-3. Chargers beat the Rams 31-10, and a field goal as time expired gave the Falcons the win over the Arizona Cardinals. We're going to have all the details, the playoff scenarios, and as much as we know about next week when this one is done. For right now, let's head back to Baltimore. Ryan Radke and Mike Golan.
All right, Scott, thanks very much. 8:41 to go. Ravens lead the Steelers 13-9. Pittsburgh will start this drive backed up inside the 10 of the 8. Now, their last drive, Mike, began at their own 5. They were able to get down and kick a field goal. John Harbaugh decides not to kick a 60-yard field goal. He wants to see if the Steelers can do it again.
So you haven't put it in the end zone yet, so I'm betting on my defense that you won't get it in the end zone because they need a touchdown.
Take it under center on 1st and 10. Hand it off Jalen Warren, running right side along the numbers across the 10-yard line. And he's out to the 14. So a 6-yard run by Warren on 1st down. Roderick Washington, Chuck Clark together on the tackle. And that'll bring up a 2nd down and 4. Pittsburgh now with 174 yards rushing in the game tonight. Most allowed by the Ravens this year. They came in allowing 87.5 yards per game, 3rd best in the league.
And they've never allowed a 100-yard rusher this year. Najee Harris is 3 yards away from that.
Harris not on the field right now. Twin receivers left and right. Warren is the back. 2nd down and 4. Steelers from their own 14. Picking to the gun, takes the snap. Handoff. Warren straight ahead. He's got the 1st down between the hash marks all the way across the 20 and out to the 23. So Jalen Warren going straight up the gut. Williams and Clark together on the tackle, but it's a gain of 9 on a 1st down.
There's plenty of time in the game to stay with this offense of mostly running.
2 receivers left, 2 to the right. Pick it back in the shotgun, takes the snap, back to pass, looking, going deep, left side for Deontay Johnson. He's got it. Where his feet in bounds. No signal yet. They're going to say it's a catch. Down the left sideline in Ravens territory, out of bounds at the 41. Brandon Stevens was in coverage, pardon me, at the 46. They just showed the replay on the big board. The fans are going nuts. And I think John Harbaugh is going to challenge. And now they're saying incomplete. They got the word from upstairs.
And I like that. I like they don't even have to go to the replay. If they see it upstairs, just call down and say it was an incomplete pass.
Yeah, that was clear, Mike. Just seeing the replay, 1 foot down, second foot clearly out of bounds.
Yeah. When it's that clear, I'm glad that they do it this way.
And I'm with you. I love this change. The guys upstairs can say, hey, obvious mistake. Let's not waste time. They don't have to use a challenge. Let's just bring it back.
Absolutely right. The right way to do it.
Heck of an effort by Deontay Johnson, but not able to get that second foot down in bounds. So they'll bring it back to the 23-yard line now. It'll be second down and 10, 7:32 to go in the game. 13-9, Ravens on top. Pickett in the shotgun, 3 receivers left, 2 receivers to the right. Pickett motions out to his right side to Najee Harris, who comes in motion, stops in the backfield off to Pickett's right. Play clock down to 5. Pickett lifts his right leg. Gets the shotgun snap. Back to pass. Looking left. Looking right. Moving right now. Steps up in the pocket. And he's going to go down. Back around the 15. Great coverage down the field by the Ravens. And Matabike got home. It's a loss of 8. 3rd and long for the Steelers.
So that time we've talked about how both quarterbacks have been able to buy time. That time they kept them clamped in. Both edge rushers stayed to the outside, gave Pickett nowhere to run, either to the right or to the left. He tried to take it back up the middle, and there were too many Ravens there.
So now it'll be 3rd and 18. Pickett in the gun with Warren to his left, 2 receivers left, single man to the right. Freiermuth goes in motion from left to right. Pickett gets the shotgun snap. He's back to pass. Looking, throws right side. Caught by Freiermuth and then dropped. Had it in his hands. Got hit by Chuck Clark. The ball came out. It's incomplete. And the Steelers will punt. So the Harbaugh strategy works to perfection, Mike. He backs them up. They did give up a couple of runs, but now they get the Steelers off the field, and Presley Harvin will be punting from his own goal line.
So he needs a great punt here. Over 6 minutes to go in the game, Pittsburgh still has all 3 timeouts.
James Crochet waiting at his 35-yard line. Harvin standing, heels on the goal line. Here's the snap. Harvin gets it away. High spiraling kick, sending Crochet to his left, over by the sideline. Backs up, has it just inside the 35, makes a herky-jerk move, and then is knocked out of bounds. After a short return, Miles Boykin getting down to force him out. It was a 51-yard punt. Short return. Ravens will have it with a 4-point lead when we come back. 6:32 remaining in Baltimore. It's the Ravens 13, the Steelers 9. You are listening to Sunday Night Football on Westwood One.
Wireless headphones. That'll be $200.
I'll use my Capital One Quicksilver card.
Now that's a hit. You used the Capital One Quicksilver card, which makes you the hero of every purchase. With Quicksilver, you earn unlimited 1.5% cash back on every purchase everywhere.
I wanted running music, but unlimited 1.5% cash back is pretty heroic.
Good instincts. Every hero needs a theme song. The Capital One Quicksilver card. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
So I switched to Boost Mobile and got this free Samsung Galaxy A23 5G phone.
Why do you think they call it the Galaxy?
Maybe because the Samsung Galaxy A23 has a huge screen, and galaxies are huge gravitationally bound systems of stars rotating around a supermassive black hole.
And the phone is free?
When you switch to Boost Mobile.
Cool. You lost me at gravitationally bound.
Switch to Boost and get a free Samsung Galaxy A23 5G phone. Boost Mobile. Unleash your power. Limited time offer while supplies last. New customers only. Excludes tax. 1 device offer per line. Only available on certain networks. 5G not available everywhere. Additional restrictions apply. See your local Boost Mobile store for details.
Join us again tomorrow night for Monday Night Football on Westwood One when the Bengals host the Bills. The great Kevin Harlan, the Hall of Famer Kurt Warner have all the action. NFL Network's Rich Eisen gets it all started with the pregame show at 8 p.m. Eastern. And Bills quarterback Josh Allen will join Rich as a guest on the Mercedes-Benz Fans Hotline. Want to unlock your potential? Open up a vehicle that's capable and versatile enough to drive your ambitions as far as you want to take them. A Mercedes-Benz Sprinter. Well, that'll be a heck of a game tomorrow night. It's going to be a different style game, I think, than the one we have here tonight. 13-9 Ravens, 6:32 to go. Baltimore getting the ball back.
So this is that 4-minute offense that you kind of stretch out to 6 minutes. You want to run the ball. Remember, these two teams played a few weeks ago. Baltimore had 215 yards rushing. Dobbins had 120 yards rushing as he's getting close to 100 tonight. 89 now. So you know that's what they're going to do, hand the ball off for short passes. But they controlled it in running last game. Not as many yards tonight, but they can still control to the end of this game to make Pittsburgh start to use their timeouts.
Ravens 116 on the ground tonight. Pittsburgh 183. The Ravens coming into tonight had outrushed 14 consecutive opponents. Longest streak in Ravens history, longest in the NFL since Carolina did it in 15 straight, spanning the 2015 and 2016 campaign.
And it looks like that's going to end tonight unless they have a sustained drive or break a long one off here.
Ravens 1st and 10. They will start at their own 36. Ball is on the far side, left hash. They're moving left to right. 2 receivers to the right side of the formation. Pistol look. Dobbins lined up behind Huntley. Here's the snap. Huntley rolling right. Throws short right. Caught by Andrews. Makes the catch up to the 40-yard line and stopped right there by Spillane. Gain of 4 on the play. So Mark Andrews, 7 targets, 7 catches, 77 yards tonight for the veteran tight end.
And just a smart play there. He could have kept running toward the sideline, but he kind of stopped and let them tackle him inbound so the clock would keep running. Every second counts right now.
6:08, 6:07 remaining in the game against Steelers have all 3 timeouts. Ravens have 2. 13-9 Baltimore. Only touchdown came right before the half. 7-yard touchdown pass to Isaiah Likely. Trips left, single man right. That's Dobbins who motions into the backfield. Huntley with a hard count. Steelers don't jump. Huntley hands in front of his chest, takes the snap, hands off Dobbins, running left along the hash across the 40-yard line, lowers his shoulder, plows his way out to about the 43. So a gain of 3, and now 3rd down and about 3 coming up. Highsmith and Devin Bush together on the tackle.
So they're running the play clock down to like 3-4 seconds every time. Here it's 3rd and short, so expect that run or that short pass to Andrews again.
Ravens 4 of 10 on 3rd down of the game. This is 3rd down and 3. They leave the 46-yard line to move the chains and keep possession. Ravens back in the huddle, make their way to the line of scrimmage with 10 on the play clock. Huntley is in the shotgun. He's got Dobbins to his right, 2 receivers stacked to the left, single man to the right. Here's the snap. Huntley, handoff, Dobbins straight ahead, and he gets dropped for no gain and may have lost the ball. Well, no gain on the play. They maintain possession. Hayward and Leal together on the tackle. And it'll be 4th down, and Jordan Stout coming out to punt. Great job by that Steelers defense.
Well, it's a great job controlling the middle. Cam Hayward actually came around his block and back down the line and helped make that play. Great job.
So Steven Sims back to return inside the 15-yard line. Back-to-back 3 and outs for the Ravens now. 4.5 minutes to go in the game. Stout watching the play clock melt down. Takes the snap with 3 on the play clock. Gets the kick away. High spiraling kick. Sims moving to his left. Will let it go over his head. It's going to bounce at the 2, and it goes into the end zone. Well, I looked for a moment like that one might take a right turn and head out of bounds, but it bounces into the end zone, and the Steelers will have it at the 20-yard line when we come back with 4:16 remaining. Ravens 13, Steelers 9. You're listening to Sunday Night Football on Westwood One.
And now a message from Puffs Plus Lotion Tissues. Ordinary tissues can leave you with a red nose, so choose Puffs Plus Lotion for all of your blows. Puffs have lotion to soothe sensitive skin, so you can wipe without wincing. It's a win-win. Puffs have cushiony thickness, which brings relief too, so the days of sore red noses are gone and through. When you're after soothing softness, a nose in need deserves Puffs indeed.
Disney Plus and Hulu better together in a brand new bundle.
Ready for an adventure?
The greatest stories ever told on Disney Plus with The Mandalorian and Disenchanted.
That's wicked. Wicked good.
Critically acclaimed fan favorites on Hulu like Pam and Tommy and The Bear.
Let's take it up another level.
Think big when you bundle both for just $9.99 a month.
We're so good together.
All of these and more now streaming. Savings compared to regular monthly price of each service. 18 and over only. Access content from each service separately. Offer valid for eligible subscribers only. Terms apply. See DisneyBundle.com for details.
Getting a tattoo of your team's mascot on your arm and your back and your face. Who's the mascot now? Jack Lynx is good with it. Pick up Jack Lynx at a store near you.
Barbasol Shaving Cream is available in 5 fantastic flavors to customize your close shave. Whether it's original, soothing aloe, or Pacific Rush, there's one for every face. Find your favorite Barbasol today.
Barbasol. A reminder that Westwood One is the only place for exclusive audio coverage of every NFL postseason game. For the wild card round all the way to Super Bowl 57 in Arizona, the NFL playoffs are on Westwood One. Log on to WestwoodOneSports.com for more details and to listen to the live stream for free. 4:16 remaining. Ravens 13, Steelers 9. A reminder what's on the line tonight. A Ravens win tonight and next week would give them the AFC North Division Championship and a home game in the playoffs. The Steelers must win tonight and next week and get some help to get into the postseason. Pittsburgh trying to keep its playoff hopes alive. They'll take over at their own 20-yard line.
Yeah, for Pittsburgh, win them both, and then the Patriots and Dolphins both have to lose next week. So Pittsburgh's got a longer haul, but they have to win tonight.
First down and 10, Steelers. Kenny Pickett will go under center. Two receivers right, single man left. Najee Harris is the back. He'll get the handoff on first down, running outside the left hash across the 25, and he spins his way out to the 27. Chuck Clark on the stop. That'll be a gain of 7 yards, and Najee Harris over 100 yards. The first 100-yard rusher allowed by the Baltimore Ravens this year. 20 carries for 104 yards. Second down 3. Here's the snap. Pickett back to pass. Pickett looking, bouncing in the pocket. Throws short right, caught by Harris, who was hit and dropped shy of the line to gain by Stevens. Terrific tackle by Stevens in space. Gain of 2. Out to the 29. It'll be third and a yard.
Third and a yard. Don't get cute. You got plenty of time. You got all your timeouts. You can still run the ball. That's your bread and butter. Make your yard. Get your first down.
If the Steelers don't get it, you would expect them to punt here because they have those timeouts.
They have all timeouts. Yeah, still over 3 minutes to go.
Third down and a yard. Pickett under center. Harris is the single back. Two receivers to the right. Freiermuth the tight end on the left end of the line. Here's the snap. Pickett driving straight ahead, and Kenny Pickett has the first down. Needed to get to the 30-yard line. Well, he went diving across, although I'll tell you, the official on the near side has that ball right at
the 30. Yeah.
Well, he's going to be good enough for a first down.
A whole lot of bells and whistles there with motion, and then just a straight-ahead quarterback sneak. I kind of like that.
Pittsburgh continues their terrific play on third down tonight. 8 of 14 with that conversion by Kenny Pickett. Clock moving down to 2:42 remaining in the game. Harris, the single back, lines up to the right of Pickett, who's in the gun. Two receivers left, single man to the right. Pickett, right foot in front of left, takes the shotgun snap. He's back to pass, has time, now spins out to his left, looking, throws down the field, and it's caught. A tumbling catch made right at the 50-yard line by Freiermuth. Stevens was in coverage. Kenny Pickett finding Freiermuth for a gain of 20.
Well, he's able to get to the outside left because Kyle Hamilton blitzed and went inside the tackle, and that opened up the outside for Pickett to roll left and buy more time.
2:08, 2:07. Steelers get lined up. Shotgun snap to Pickett. Back to pass. Looking. Fires deep down the middle of the field, and it's caught inside the 30-yard line. Leaping grab made by Sims. They'll put him down at the 22. Marcus Williams was in coverage, and a big gain of 28. There is a penalty flag down.
I think it's going to be holding on the defense.
Prior to the pass, holding 14. The penalties declined. Results split the first down.
We couldn't hear the number, but it was a defensive hold, so they'll decline that. And the Pittsburgh Steelers have moved their way just outside the red zone, all the way down to the 22.
So the game never got in a position where Pittsburgh really had to force the ball down the field for a long throw. That was really one of the first ones outside of a go route, tried to the outside. Best throw of the night by Kenny Pickett. Best throw of the night right to the middle of the field.
Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. This is Westwood 1, your home for Sunday Night Football.
WFAN, WFAN FM, WFAN FM HD1, New York. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
Along with Mike Golick and the rest of our great Westwood 1 crew, Ryan Radke with you in Baltimore. Happy New Year. Glad you're kicking off 2023 with us. And a terrific game here, Week 17 of Sunday Night Football. 1:59 remaining. Ravens 13, Steelers 9. Pittsburgh has not led since a field goal on their opening drive. They had a 3-0 lead, but now have moved the ball down the field. Back-to-back terrific throws by Kenny Pickett.
And they've been down here before and only gotten field goals. They need the end zone this time.
Steelers again have all 3 timeouts, so the clock is not a concern. Two receivers to the right. Pickens lines up as a wing to the left. Pickett of the gun takes the snap. Little pop pass ahead to Sims. Racing left outside the numbers, and he's spun out of bounds on the near sideline. So just that little pitch ahead that goes as a pass completion across the 20. Marcus Williams with the stop. Second down coming up. Clock stop. 1:55 remaining in the ball game. They give him progress down to the 18-yard line. So a gain of 4. Second down and 6. Two receivers go to the right. Deontay Johnson in the slot. Sims out wide. Freiermuth with Pickett stacked left on the numbers. Freiermuth comes in short motion from that side. Pickett of the gun. Gets the snap. He's going to hand it off to Harris, who hurdles over the pile and drives his way forward down to about the 12. Looks like maybe they'll mark him at the 13. Justin Houston on the tackle. Yeah, now a timeout has been taken after that run. It was Baltimore that took the timeout, so they have one left. And a 3rd and 1 coming up for the Steelers. A 5-yard gain by Najee Harris, who is now at 109 yards in the game. We mentioned that the Ravens had not given up a 100-yard rusher all year. Coming into today, they were one of 4 teams in the NFL that had not given up a 100-yard rusher. But they've given up 100 to Najee Harris tonight. The Rams gave up 100 to Austin Eckler today. The Vikings gave up 100 to Aaron Jones. So only the 49ers now have not given up a 100-yard rusher.
And which makes sense, and they're statistically the best defense in the NFL. And they have not done that yet. And I love the fact that for Pittsburgh, nothing cute here when they're down. That was just a straight dive over Mason Cole, the center, and James Daniels, the right guard. And Najee just kind of leaped right through them to gain the yards he did. And again, one of the reasons they've been so good on 3rd down is 3rd and 1, 3rd and less than 1.
Harris, 4th career 100-yard game, his first of the year. Steelers 8 of 14 on 3rd down tonight, 3rd down and a yard. Pickett under center, 2 receivers to the right. Harris is the single back. Pickett takes the snap. He's got a quarterback sneak to the right. Harris trying to shove him forward, and it looks like they've got the first down. Boy, he didn't have much there originally, but then Najee Harris got behind him and shoved him across the line to gain. It'll be a first down for the Steelers. Clock stopped momentarily, now cranked up. 90 seconds remaining in the game. It's touchdown or bust for Pittsburgh. Steelers need the win to keep their playoff hopes alive.
We see this Baltimore Raven defense bend like this but not break the entire game. Can they do it one more time?
First and 10 from the 12. Trips right, Pickett to the gun with Harris to his left. Here's the snap. Pickett back to pass. Looking right. Throws right. Corner of the end zone. Incomplete. Trying to find Deontay Johnson. Brandon Stevens was in coverage. It'll be second down and 10. 1:06 remaining.
Yeah, that was good coverage there. That pass needed to be on just a drop in the bucket there, and he put a little too much on it, a little too high. No real shot at that one.
Oh, what a great job by Stevens. Yeah. Johnson gave that little jab in and went back out. Stevens did not bite at all.
Earlier in the game, Stevens had another play in the end zone, had nice coverage in the end zone as well, just looking back right at the last second for the ball.
Second down 10 from the 12. 2 receivers right, single man left, everybody on their feet, some waving the terrible towel. Pickett gets the snap, hand off Harris, off the right side, got tripped up. Falls forward for a yard, maybe 2. Roderick Washington with the tackle. And now a timeout taken by the Ravens with 1:02 remaining, their final timeout. It'll be 3rd and long coming up. It's obviously 4-down territory for the Steelers.
Yeah, that time the O-line just didn't get enough push. Mason Cole, again, got pushed into the backfield a little bit. Najee Harris tripped over his own guy.
So now 3rd down and 8 with the ball at the 10-yard line. Ravens trying to preserve as much time as possible, but they can no longer stop the clock. Steelers certainly can. What would you look for from Pittsburgh here?
I would look at Freiermuth. Again, you don't have to get it to the end zone, so you don't have to throw one of those fades. You don't have to do that. You can still use the middle of the field. You don't have to get it all the way in the end zone. You'll have.
And he got 2 downs to get 8 yards.
Yeah, you can get a first down still. It's not touchdown or bust.
Steelers out of the huddle will go with a single receiver. Johnson to the right, 3 receivers left. Pickett to the gun, Harris to his right. 3rd and 8 from the 10 with 1:02 to go. Pickett wants the snap. He's got it. Back to pass. Looking left. Under pressure. Gets away. Throws left side. Caught. Touchdown Pittsburgh. It's Najee Harris. Kenny Pickett escaping pressure and finds Harris for the touchdown. Pittsburgh is taking the lead. 56 seconds remaining on the clock, and the Steelers lead 15-13. A 10-yard touchdown pass to Najee Harris.
We shouldn't be shocked that it was Kenny Pickett getting out of the pocket. He's been doing it all night. Jason Pierre-Paul came on the rush on that side, just got a hand on Pickett. Pickett sloughed it off, got to the outside, and hit Najee perfectly in the hand.
Second touchdown catch of the year for Harris, and now Boswell's extra point is up and good. And with 56 seconds to go, the Steelers lead 16-13. What a drive put together by Kenny Pickett and the Pittsburgh Steelers.
So the one time they finally got in the end zone, couldn't get there, had to settle for field goals. The Baltimore defense didn't break, and this time, at some point, it's going to burn you when you let the quarterback out of the pocket to prolong a play. Najee Harris sees him break out and makes a break for the end zone. And what a throw by Pickett, rolling left. He had some pressure on, just kind of sidearmed it, and it was a beautiful pass. But it doesn't happen if Baltimore can keep contained.
11-play, 80-yard drive, 3:20 off the clock. And man, you're right, Mike. I mean, just a picture-perfect throw from Pickett right on the hands of Harris, who brings it in, gets 2 feet down in bounds. And now the Ravens will get it back. Now, no timeouts for Baltimore, but they have one of the greatest kickers that has ever played this game.
Again, the record holder is 66 yards. Pretty impressive, which means you can get it to about the 47-yard line or so.
Boswell ready to kick it away. On the approach, end over in boot. Justice Hill waiting a couple of yards deep in the end zone. Will let it bounce, and the Ravens will start at the 25-yard line.
So if you look at the receivers out there, it's been Andrews tonight. 7 targets, 7 catches for about 11 yards a catch. Ball's going to have to get downfield a little more now. Huntley's going to have to be counted on to push the ball down the field. Neither quarterback has really had to do that tonight.
Yeah, until the last drive when we saw Pickett do it with a couple of really nice throws. And watch out for T.J. Watt, who is lined up on the offensive right side of the formation. Justice Hill, the running back. Huntley is in the gun. First down and 10. They motion Isaiah Likely to that right side. Huntley takes the snap. He's back to pass. Huntley steps up, swings it out right side, incomplete. Off the hands of Likely, who was blocking Watt, and then tried to get out into the pattern. It'll be second down and 10 with 52 seconds to go. What's the tough assignment for Isaiah Likely, trying to block T.J. Watt and then get out to catch a pass?
Yeah, it really is. He's just supposed to brush him a little bit, and then the right tackle's supposed to take over. It's probably better they didn't complete that ball. That pass wasn't going anywhere, and he probably would have been tackled in bounds.
Speaking of right tackle, Morgan Moses' biceps injury. Patrick McCarry is in there right now at that right tackle spot. Second down, 10 Ravens for their own 25, trailing 16-13 with 52 seconds left. Trips left, single man right. Huntley takes the snap. He's back to pass. Huntley steps up in the pocket, moving right, gets away from Ogunjobi. Flag is down, throws down the field, incomplete, nearly intercepted. Fitzpatrick made a diving attempt. We'll see about the marker that is in the area of holding.
Oh, yeah, there's no doubt it's going to be holding.
Offense number 64. 10-yard penalty. Second down.
Linderbaum, the rookie center. So that's going to back him up 10 yards and make it second down and 20. Just the 4th penalty tonight against the Ravens, but this puts them in a tough spot.
Yeah, again, with no timeouts, it's going to be... You can still get away with the middle of the field with 45 seconds. Just got to obviously hustle to the ball. So all the field's still available.
Scoreboard says 3rd and 20. Now they've changed it. It is 2nd and 20. Huntley in the gun. 3 receivers left, 2 to the right. Huntley takes the snap. Huntley back to pass. Looks, throws over the middle. Caught by Andrews at the 25. Turns right across the 30, and he dives out to about the 33. The Ravens cannot stop the clock. 36, 35, 34 seconds. Fitzpatrick and Wallace combine on the stop. It's a gain of 18 yards.
And you don't want to kill it here either because it'll be 4th down.
Fans getting restless. 3rd down and 2. Huntley in the gun. Has the snap. Throws short. Andrews has it. Immediately falls to the turf. He's got the first down. He gets up. The ball gets punched out of there, and the Steelers say they have it.
So Andrews is going to say he gave himself up. And if you give yourself up, then you're down. It looked like he caught it and went to the ground and tried to get back up and get back to the line of scrimmage.
They're moving on the field, and the runner gave you up in the alley. Set the clock.
So that's what Lance Clark is saying, is that he gave himself up and got a mouth. Where the confusion comes in that play, Mike, is because he was hustling to get lined up. The Steelers thought, well, he's trying to run.
Right.
And they punched it out. So they've got the clock set at 15 seconds. Huntley under center. They moved it back to 22 seconds now. Huntley takes the snap and grounds the ball with 20 seconds to go. So Andrews caught the ball, immediately went to the ground, which you can do to give yourself up. But then as he bounced up and was running to get back and lined up, the Steelers said, hey, nobody touched it. They came in and punched the ball out, and Cameron Hayward recovered.
And I get it. Their thought process was maybe Andrews was trying to fool us by going down and get back up, but Andrews did give himself up. I think that was the right call, and then they were going to kill it, just what they did here.
So 20 seconds to go, 2nd and 10. Baltimore at its own 38-yard line. 3 receivers to the left side of the formation, 1 to the right. Tyler Huntley gets the shotgun snap back against the 4-man rush, moving to his right, looking, throws deep down the field, intercepted by Fitzpatrick, and that'll do it. Minkah Fitzpatrick picks it off at the 40, and the Steelers are going to win the game. Fitzpatrick gets up and races to the end zone to celebrate with his defensive mate. 6th interception of the year for the Pro Bowler Fitzpatrick. It'll steal the Steelers' win and keep their playoff hopes alive.
Yet another one-score game between these two teams. And we know that as we talked about the scenarios, the Steelers need help next week. But the bottom line is they took care of their business tonight.
There are flags all over the place, which I assume are for the celebration. Steelers were celebrating in the end zone. The ball eventually ended up in about the 55th row as it got tossed up there.
Players were all off the sideline.
After the interception, unsportsmanlike conduct, Pittsburgh, a non-uniform personnel came off the bench. 15-yard penalty, first down.
A non-uniformed person came off the bench. And they don't care.
Mike Tomlin exchanging hugs with his players on the sideline. They'll back him up to the 25. But Kenny Pickett now can take a knee. And the Pittsburgh Steelers have done it again. Pickett drops down to his right knee, and that's it. A 3rd straight win for the Pittsburgh Steelers to get them to 500. They are now 8-8. The Steelers win it 16-13 over the Ravens in Baltimore tonight.
They did it the way we had talked about them doing it, mostly with the running game, and how much would you rely on your quarterback? They were shorter passes until that last drive. Then he drilled a couple of them down the field, and all night he had been escaping to the right, to the left, buying more time, making plays down the field, and finally makes the play that puts him in the end zone to give him the lead and the win.
Well, Najee Harris got it done behind that offensive line, 22 carries for 111 yards. Kenny Pickett, 15-27, 168, and a touchdown. That touchdown went to Najee Harris. Let's go down to the field where T.J. Watt joins us now. T.J., Ryan Radke, Mike Golick upstairs. Congratulations on the win. Tell us about the effort. You guys were down the whole game, but found a way to come back when it mattered most.
Man, that's classic Steelers-Ravens football there. 3 points determines the victor. And backs against the wall, we just knew we needed to claw back. We knew we needed to make some plays on defense. And how about Kenny Pickett in that offense, man, giving us a chance to close the game out. And Minkah with a hell of a play to finish.
Just an incredible couple of throws by Pickett for sure. Yours is a team that 10 times since 2020 has come back from a deficit after the 3rd quarter. What was Mike Tomlin's message on the sideline and at halftime to you guys?
Nothing different, man. Just stay the course, believe in the process. Don't get outside of who you are, especially on defense. Can't swim out of gaps. Got to play sound football, and I think that's what we did, and that's what led to victory.
Your defense has been stellar these last few weeks, not giving up a whole lot of points. What's been obviously you being back has been one of the differences, but what else has been some of the differences for the resurgence of this defense?
Just playing aggressive, just playing super aggressive. We're pinning our ears back in the run in the pass, and we're living with the mistakes. And there aren't many mistakes. We're cleaning up when there are. But I think that's the biggest thing, is just playing as fast as we possibly can.
Hey, TJ, final thought. I'm sure this has been kind of an emotional week for you with your brother's retirement announcement. It's Ravens week. You guys are playing to keep playoff hopes alive. But what has this been like for you, and now to wrap it up with a win?
It feels good to still be alive.
TJ, congratulations. Enjoy it. Good luck next week.
Thank you, guys. Take care.
TJ Watt down on the field. The Pittsburgh Steelers with a 16-13 win over the Baltimore Ravens. Their playoff hopes are alive now, 8-8. They need a win next week and some help. But They were in this position a year ago where they needed a lot of things to go their way. They all went their way. They got it. Can they do it again? We'll find out next week. Step 1 in the books, the 16-13 win over the Ravens tonight. When we return, Scott Graham rejoins us from our Progressive Insurance Studios with the postgame report. Protect the stuff you love with Renter's Insurance. Visit Progressive.com today. You're listening to Sunday Night Football on Westwood One.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? Starting trouble. No one likes that. We'll get you set up for some stronger starts. You might just need a fresh charge, and we'll take care of that free of charge. But if it is time for a new battery, we've got replacement batteries that'll fit your needs, starting at just $79.99. You can learn more about our battery selection at AutoZone.com. That's what makes us America's #1 battery destination.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Claim based on data from the NPD Group 2021.
With a Peppermint Frosty, time to enjoy yourself is built in. You're welcome. They're so rich and creamy, a straw just won't cut it. And finishing one, it's not something you can speed through. So check your watch. Is it Frosty time yet? And by that, we mean, is it time for a moment with just you and your Frosty kicking back and doing whatever goes best with the chillest treat of the season? These Peppermint Frosty treats are going fast, so when it's time for Frosty time, choose wisely. Choose Wendy's.
Scott Graham from our Westwood One studios following Sunday Night Football tonight in Baltimore. Exactly the type of game that you would expect from two AFC North rivals. When they play, it is always close. When they play, it is always hard fought. 23 of the 29 games that they have played since John Harbaugh took over as head coach, the Baltimore Ravens, and each of the last 5 coming into tonight decided by one score. We knew what we were in for tonight. They'd already played a one-score game earlier in the season, back in the month of December. Now that it's January, same old between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Baltimore Ravens. Ravens playing for the opportunity to play for the division title next week. A win tonight, and it would set that up with Cincinnati in Week 18. Steelers, of course, needed to win. They escaped elimination today when Miami didn't win, but they had to win to stay alive, and they still needed a whole bunch of other things to happen as well. They drew first blood in this game. Chris Boswell hitting a 21-yard field goal after a good drive stalled, and they couldn't find their way into the end zone, but the field goal just past the halfway mark of the first quarter, and an 8-minute drive that they had to open the game gave them a 3-0 lead. Baltimore responded with a long drive of their own. 7 minutes and 52 seconds, 15 plays. It stalled. It did not find the end zone. Justin Tucker hit on a 30-yard field goal to tie the game at 3 apiece. Chris Boswell hit the upright on his next field goal attempt with an opportunity to put Pittsburgh up by 3. And then the Ravens were moving downfield potentially to take a small lead before halftime. They were in the middle of an 11-play, 62-yard drive, and on third down, they came up short. Field goal unit was about ready to run out on the field, but a flag was thrown. Cam Hayward was called for unsportsmanlike conduct. That gave a first down to the Baltimore Ravens, and it gave them new life and an opportunity at another play. That mistake turned out to be a big one, as the Ravens had an opportunity to go for the end zone.
Shotgun snap, Huntley back to pass, looking left, throws left to the end zone. Caught, touchdown Baltimore! It's Isaiah Likely, the rookie tight end in the front left corner of the end zone. 7-yard touchdown pass from Huntley, and the Ravens have the lead with 7 seconds remaining here in the second quarter.
Extra point was good. It was 10-3. That was our score at halftime. Hard fought, tight, defensive game, exactly what we expected. The two kickers traded 51-yard field goals in the third quarter. Justin Tucker hitting at the 9:31 mark. Chris Boswell hitting at the 3:42 mark. And we went to the fourth in a 7-point game. Boswell hit again at the end of a 13-play, 80-yard drive with more than 6 minutes off the clock. Steelers doing a good job of controlling the football in the second half of this game. Boswell hit his 33-yarder when they could not get any closer to the end zone. They were within 4, but they needed to figure out a way to come up with a touchdown before this one was done if they wanted to win the ball game. What they did was they took over with less than 5 minutes to go and took over at their own 20-yard line. They had to move down the field, and they had to score a touchdown against a Raven defense, which had not given up a home touchdown at M&T Bank Stadium in 15 quarters. Kenny Pickett started a drive from his own 20-yard line and made a couple of huge plays in this one. Najee Harris, who was big all night, helped out as well. It was a 20-yard completion to Pat Fryermuth in the middle of the field that really got it going, and it got the Steelers to the midfield area. And on the very next play, the Steelers got closer.
2:08, 2:07. Steelers get lined up. Shotgun snap to Pickett. Back to pass. Looking. Fires deep down the middle of the field. And it's caught inside the 30-yard line. Leaping grab made by Sims. They'll put him down at the 22. Marcus Williams was in coverage. And a big gain of 28.
And so here you come up on the 2-minute warning, and the opportunity is there for the Steelers as they are knocking on the door of the red zone. They got there in a first down at the 12-yard line. Now the Ravens started using their timeouts, realizing that they might very well end up getting the ball back trailing before all was said and done. But first, the Steelers were going to need to put the ball into the end zone, something they had not done all night long. Time for the Wrangler Jeans highlight of the game.
3rd and 8 from the 10 with 1:02 to go. Pickett wants the snap. He's got it. Back to pass. Looking left. Under pressure. Gets away. Throws left side. Caught. Touchdown Pittsburgh. It's Najee Harris. Kenny Pickett escaping pressure and finds Harris for the touchdown. Pittsburgh is taking the lead. 56 seconds remaining on the clock, and the Steelers lead 15-13. A 10-yard touchdown pass to Najee Harris.
That's the highlight of the game, sponsored by Wrangler. Wrangler has you covered this winter. Shop Wrangler.com for the best in Sherpa-line jackets, warm flannel, and durable, stylish jeans. Wrangler for the ride of life. The extra point, an all-important one from Chris Boswell, was good, so we had a 3-point ball game, but as Ryan just told you, there were still 56 seconds left to go. Now, the Ravens had no timeouts, and they had to figure out a way to get downfield quickly. How far downfield? Well, when you've got the best field goal kicker in the NFL and a guy who's got the NFL record for longest field goal, perhaps not quite as far. Drive kind of sputtered at the very beginning, and the Ravens were struggling to figure out a way to get the ball downfield or even close enough to the midfield stripe. And Mark Andrews made a catch, his 9th of the ball game, to get him to 100 yards. They were still well short of the area. They needed to make a throw into Pittsburgh territory to try to get the field goal attempt, and that's when the Pittsburgh defense stood up.
Tyler Huntley gets the shotgun snap, back against the 4-man rush, moving to his right, looking, throws deep down the field, intercepted by Fitzpatrick, and that'll do it. Minkah Fitzpatrick picks it off at the 40, and the Steelers are going to win the game. Fitzpatrick gets up and races to the end zone to celebrate with his defensive base. 6th interception of the year for the Pro Bowler Fitzpatrick. It'll seal the Steelers win and keep their playoff hopes alive.
Playoff hopes alive, just like we told you about at the very beginning of this broadcast. Last year, that's exactly what they did at the end of the season. They kept their hopes alive. They ended up getting some help on the final day of the season and snuck into the playoffs last year. Steelers still have the ability to do that right now. If they win next week and the Dolphins and the Patriots both lose, the Pittsburgh Steelers will be in the playoffs. On the other side, the Ravens still have the possibility of winning a division title. But for that to happen, Cincinnati's got to lose tomorrow night to the Buffalo Bills, and then when the two teams face off, the Ravens would have to win next week in Cincinnati. 16-13, the final score in this one. Scott Graham in our studio with more on tonight's game. Let's rejoin Ryan Racky and Mike Golick at M&T Bank Stadium. Guys?
All right, Scott, thanks very much. Heck of a ball game here tonight. Two teams, division rivals. There's no love lost. They say all the right things during the week, but once they get out on the field, they want to win badly to have bragging rights over the other side, and the Steelers get it done tonight. They led 3-0 after the opening drive of the game, did not lead again until inside a minute left on that touchdown pass to Najee Harris, and their defense gets the job done at the end. Mike, we hear it all the time, players say it was a team win. It was a team win. This was a team win for the Steelers tonight. Special teams, Boswell makes the 3 field goals. Right. Offense did the job when they had to. Kenny Pickett steps up, makes some big throws. Najee Harris and the offensive line were terrific all night. And then when they had to get that final stop, the defense did what they have been doing as of late. Steelers give up 17 or fewer points again. They have been on a roll as of late.
Yeah, they've been doing really well, obviously, with that. 5 of their last 6 opponents, now 6 of 7, they've limited to 17 or less. And Ryan, I think the key here was Pittsburgh was able to stay in their offense the entire game up until that last drive when they had to push it a little more. But even on that last drive, they had time to where they were still running the ball until Now that touchdown pass was a great job by Pickett rolling out, making that throw, but the dime down the middle of the field to Sims for about 28 yards, just out of the reach of the defender, I think was his best throw of the night. And he didn't have to do that earlier because they weren't that far down. Because of their defense, they were right in the game so they could stay in to have Najee Harris get over 100 yards, first time this season against the Baltimore Ravens. So I think that was key for them. That's why I agree with you. It was a team effort.
Yeah, and remember, right before that pass to Sims, rolling to his left, found Freiermuth up at midfield, and the defense, they did the job. Again, now it's 6 straight games they've given up 17 or fewer. Longest active streak in the NFL. Don't forget, too, they forced back-to-back 3-and-outs for the Ravens. As time was dwindling down, you were talking about, 4-minute offense time for the Ravens. Steelers got the quick 3-and-out to get the ball back and give Pickett and company time.
So they basically, Baltimore had almost 195 to be exact, less rushing yards than they did a few weeks ago when they played Pittsburgh. They had 120. They had 215 last time around. They had 6 minutes to go, and they had the ball. That's when you want that 4-minute offense, obviously extended a little bit, control the ball. That's where you give kudos to the defense and that team effort to say they stopped them, and stopped them quick. It wasn't like they let them drive down and then stopped them. They stopped them, forced a punch, and were able to move then on offense.
Ravens had outrushed 14 consecutive opponents. That streak comes to an end tonight. Outrushed 198 to 120. This Ravens defense that had been giving up about 87 yards per game on the ground, shredded tonight for 198. You mentioned Harris, over 100 yards. Look, if you're going to win games like this, you got to be able to do it. And they ran the ball incredibly effectively tonight.
Yeah, they did. And think about it now, they're 8-8. If they win next week, even if they don't get in and they win, that'll then now be, 16 years?
19 straight years.
19 straight, 16 with Tomlin as the coach, and 19 straight of having a 500 or better record. Now, they'll never have to worry about the 500 record again until they go to 18 regular season games. But, yeah, that's just incredible. We were talking before we came back on air. A couple of teams we thought really had no shot. Pittsburgh and Green Bay. Now, Green Bay's like a win away from being in, and I think we're all stunned in Pittsburgh. They need a little bit of help. It's one of the worst things, I'll tell you, because I've been in this position, that Mike Tomlin will hate, is the fact that you're scoreboard watching. That you have to see what else is going on, especially if any other team, and I don't know yet, if any other team that you need to lose is playing at the same time that you are. Then, if you're, then the coach doesn't want any of the score being shown at all because they want you to concentrate on your business like Pittsburgh was able to do tonight.
And usually they do that. They'll put them at the same time, so they won't show the score in the stadium. But now we have these things called cell phones where everybody knows
knows what's going on. They'll have a cell phone on the sideline.
Yeah, they'll know. Trust me. So that's where the Steelers are, 8-8. They got to win next week. And I'm sure, for Mike Tomlin, the message will be, hey, we got to take care of our business. We'll worry about everything else. But let's go win in the finale. Meanwhile, for the Ravens, Scott just mentioned it. They could still win a division. If Cincinnati were to lose tomorrow night, the Ravens will still be playing for a division championship and a home playoff game next week. So while this is a difficult loss, I would think it's not going to be real tough to pick yourself up off the deck and get ready because you know what could potentially be on the line, especially if Cincinnati loses that game.
And you're going to get Lamar Jackson back at some point here. Now, I don't know if it's going to be next week or not. This is the 4th game we've missed. We don't know. But you're going to get him back most likely if it's not for next week for the playoffs. So you're going to have, the former MVP of the league back at the quarterback position. So that's something that Baltimore hangs on to.
All right. We do know the 2 Saturday games next week. Kansas City will be in Vegas to take on the Raiders in the early game. That'll be at 4:30 Eastern. The night game will be Jacksonville hosting Tennessee. That's a win and get in for the AFC South title. We'll have both those games for you on Westwood One. We do not know where we are going to be next week for Sunday Night Football. We'll see, I guess, after the game tomorrow night. We'll find out where we're going.
Well, I think the good thing there is you'll have your pilot of your private plane set to go anywhere we need to go, correct?
Absolutely. I'll get right on that.
Okay, thanks. Just let me know.
Charge it to the Howard J. Deneroff credit card. 16-13. Steelers win it here tonight. Let's send it back to Scott Graham in our Westwood One studios. Scott?
All right, thank you very much, guys. When we return, we're going to run down all the scores and highlights from today's NFL action. This is Westwood One's coverage of the National Football League.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
This is Matt Crowder live at the gas station on 41st Street reporting on those skyrocketing gas prices. Excuse me, miss. Are you buying less gas now because of the high prices?
Oh, I never pay full price for gas anymore. I just used a free Upside app that pays you cash back for every gallon of gas you buy.
Wait a minute. Are you saying you actually get paid cash when you buy gas with the Upside app?
Yes, I get real cash back every time I buy gas.
Does that actually add up to anything?
I've made around $200.
Wow. Well, there you have it. Stop paying full price for gas. Download the free Upside app and get real cash back every time you buy gas. This is Matt Crowder Radio News Network. Download the free Upside app now to earn real cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code LOT for an extra 25 cents a gallon bonus on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, to PayPal, or any gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code LOT for a 25 cents a gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code LOT.
So I switched to Boost Mobile and got this free Samsung Galaxy A23 5G phone.
Why do you think they call it the Galaxy?
Maybe because the Samsung Galaxy A23 has a huge screen, and galaxies are huge gravitationally bound systems of stars rotating around a supermassive black hole.
And the phone is free?
When you switch to Boost Mobile.
Cool. You lost me at gravitationally bound.
Switch to Boost and get a free Samsung Galaxy A23 5G phone. Boost Mobile. Unleash your power. Limited time offer while supplies last. New customers only. Excludes tax. One device offer per line. Only available on certain networks. 5G not available everywhere. Additional restrictions apply. See your local Boost Mobile store for details.
Help Ukrainian children. Shazam this song. Scroll down Shazam, open on YouTube, follow the link and donate.
Welcome back to the Sunday Night Football postgame show following the Steelers' win in Baltimore 16-13 as Pittsburgh remains one of three teams still fighting it out for the final playoff spot in the AFC. Three teams also alive in the NFC. How did this all work out today? Well, it was interesting. Sit back. I'll tell you about it. Tampa Bay was playing at home against Carolina today, and for Tampa Bay, the opportunity to clinch the NFC South was right in front of them after their comeback win at Arizona last week. Carolina was eliminated with a loss, but here's the quirk today. Carolina, because they were 6-9, had an opportunity that if they won this game and next week at New Orleans, they were division champions. Amazing. And Carolina's been playing some pretty good ball. Tom Brady and company have struggled all year to get on the right page offensively. Today, at the right time, Tom Brady did it with Mike Evans. We're talking about a guy who 9 straight seasons of 1,000 yards to begin his career, but a guy who'd been kept out of the end zone since week 4. Today, he decided to make good for that in triplicate.
Is it Mike Evans time, Dave, from the Carolina 30? First down 10, Brady. Takes the snap and looks toward his way. Throws toward Evans, toward the end zone. Evans, under back, makes the catch. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Evans has 3. Fire the cannons. Fire them. Evans with a remarkable catch.
Fire the cannons 3 times. Gene Deckerhoff, the Buccaneers Radio Network. Evans, 207 yards today. Tom Brady threw for 432, and Tampa Bay held off Carolina with a 30-24 win to clinch a second straight NFC South title, the first time they've won back-to-back titles in Tampa Bay history. Todd Bowles, the head coach, who's gone through a lot with this team this year, is happy and relieved.
Every year, you try to win the division, and we won the division. Doesn't matter how you win the division. Now, my heart ain't got much left in it, but I feel great. We're at one spot we need to be. We can't get to where we want to be unless we win the division. We won the division.
Tampa Bay's locked in as the number 4 seed in the NFC. They will host the second-place team in the NFC East. More on that in a moment. On the other side, kudos to Carolina playing the way they did as Steve Wilkes took over as the interim coach, and Sam Darnold showed that he can play for this team. 316 yards passing today and 3 touchdowns in the effort that got him close, but not quite enough. Carolina now 6-10. Now, the first-place team in the NFC East all year long has been the Philadelphia Eagles, and they've kind of been waiting around to see if they could clinch the division. Didn't work out on Christmas Eve at Dallas as the Cowboys beat them by 6, but today playing back home against the New Orleans Saints, you kind of had to figure they had a lot going on their side. Check this one out. The number 1 seed with a win-and-you're-in situation in either of the last 2 games over the last 15 seasons, that team was 23-1. 23-1 against the team with a losing record. Saints were 6-9 coming in, but New Orleans' defense has been marvelous of late. They shut out Philly with Gardner Minshew at quarterback for the injured Jalen Hurts to the tune of 13-0 in the first half. Ultimately, Minshew threw a long touchdown pass, a 78-yarder to A.J. Brown, but New Orleans was holding the lead, and late in the ballgame, as Philly tried to put together a long drive starting deep in their own end, it turned horribly for the folks in the city of brotherly love.
Empty backfield now for Minshew. Takes the snap, throws a quick one, and that's picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. Pick six. Welcome back, Marshawn. That's how you do it. Happy New Year, baby.
Mike Koss, WWL Radio, flagship station of the New Orleans Saints. Lattimore had been out since October 9th with a kidney laceration. His first game back, and on New Year's Day in Philly, he made like a mummer and strutted into the end zone. New Orleans hangs on for a 20-10 victory. For the time being at that point, they were still alive. Ultimately, they ended up getting eliminated later on in the day, and their record now 7-9 for the year. As for the Eagles, well, they're 13-3. They're still in first place inside the division, and their head coach knows that they still have a chance.
We're 13-3 right now, and with a chance to go 14-3 next week to win the division. And so all our goals are in front of us. And anytime you lose a game, anytime you don't perform the way you think you should perform, you're gonna be upset. You're gonna be humbled. You're gonna be, but that's not a bad thing. You go back to work and you get better from it.
One interesting thing as the Eagles get ready for their game against the New York Giants next week at Lincoln Financial Field is that Brandon Graham got to the 10-sack mark today, the fourth Eagles player to get there. There's never in history been a team that has had 4 players that have had 10 or more sacks in the same season. As we said, Philly against the New York Giants next week with one more opportunity to wrap up the division and home field advantage throughout the NFC playoffs. Now, the New York Giants will go into that ball game in a pretty relaxed state. Why is that? Well, they took on Indianapolis today in the Meadowlands, and for the Giants, it was a long time coming. For their quarterback, it's been a long time coming, but today it happened.
Barkley in a one-back set. Jones under center. Takes the snap, play fake to Barkley. Jones rolls to his left, gets a block from Thomas. He's to the 5. Jones races in. Touchdown, Giants. Second rushing touchdown for Daniel Jones. And let the party begin at MetLife Stadium.
Top of the WFAN New York Giants radio network, Daniel Jones was marvelous today. 4 total touchdowns on the day, and the Giants beat Indianapolis 38-10. That means they are in the playoffs for the first time since 2016. They put up 30 or more points for the first time in 44 games. This kind of feels different right now, even for a guy like Saquon Barkley, who's now reached his career high in rushing yards with over 1,300. He says they proved their doubters wrong.
It's a beautiful thing. I mean, no one, let's be honest, no one besides the men and women in that facility gave us a chance to accomplish this. And we just stuck to the script, kept believing in each other, and gave us the opportunity, and we did it.
On the other side, Indianapolis has struggled all year long. Nick Foles, his second start at quarterback, got knocked out with a rib injury in the second quarter, did not return to the game. Indy now 4-11-1. The Green Bay Packers, a team that folks had probably forgotten about when they lost to Philly back on November the 27th in Week 12. They were 4-8 at the time. What are the chances that they're going to be able to climb back into the playoff picture? Aaron Rodgers said, well, we're going to take this thing one game at a time. And they did. They got a victory in Chicago. Then they had a bye. Then they got a win over the Rams. Then they won on Christmas Day in Miami. Lo and behold, here on New Year's Day, they were taking on the Minnesota Vikings at Lambeau Field. And trailing early in this ball game, one playmaker lit a spark that kept flying around Lambeau all night long.
The kick from right to left to restart the game. And this one carrying into the end zone about 4 yards deep. Here comes Nixon to the 5. Left hash mark 10, 15. Hits the hole hard. He's to the 25-30. Breaks into the clear. Keyshawn Nixon is off to the races. It's Secretariat at the Belmont. Down the stretch they come. No one will catch him. It is a touchdown. It is a 104-yard touchdown for Keyshawn Nixon. My goodness.
Kudos to Wayne Larrabee on the Packers radio network. Any Secretariat mention is just fine by me. Green Bay was on their way, a 41-17 win over the Minnesota Vikings. What did they do today? They held Kirk Cousins to 205 yards. He threw 3 interceptions. Get this, Justin Jefferson, who still has Calvin Johnson's single-season NFL record for receiving yards in his sight, 1 catch, 15 yards on the day. Aaron Rodgers had a rushing touchdown, had a passing touchdown, 159 yards. Not a big day statistically at all, but after the game, realizing right now that Green Bay has the driver's keys and the wheel in their hand for next week. All they've got to do is win to get in. After the game, Rodgers was channeling his inner George Michael.
I had faith, much like 4 and 6, I think, in 16. Sometimes you got to fool yourself a little bit into believing a little bit more. But I definitely had faith. I was going to go down scrapping, for sure. But I do believe in the power of manifestation, and I do believe in momentum. I believe strongly in the force of the mind. And when you start to believe something strongly, that some miraculous things can happen.
And I believe for every drop of rain that falls, a flower grows. Anyway, Green Bay wins next week, and they are in. They take on the Detroit Lions. Minnesota lost a lot today by losing this game because they no longer are in the running for the number 1 overall seed. They lose the tiebreaker with the Eagles. The best they can do now is the number 2 seed in the NFC. One team that is alive for the number 1 seed, though, is San Francisco. They had won 8 straight, hadn't lost since week 7 to the Kansas City Chiefs. They went to Vegas today to take on the Raiders. The Raiders were going to be eliminated with a loss or a Miami win or a New York Jets win. Not much opportunity there for Las Vegas in this game, but they played hard. Jarrett Stidham, in his first start of his quarterback career, of course, he was a member of the New England Patriots for a long time, now a member of the Raiders, threw for 365 yards and 3 touchdowns. They got a big pass interference call late, and Josh Jacobs tied the game on a 1-yard touchdown run with just over a minute to go. Still time for San Francisco, though. Robbie Gould got into range. He's one of the most automatic kickers in these situations, and he missed a 40-yarder at the end of regulation. No problem. Gould got another opportunity in overtime.
For Robbie, right in the middle of the hashes, Tabor Pepper to Mitch Wisnowski. Robbie to win the game in overtime. He has it there, and it is good! The 49ers have beaten the Raiders in overtime, 37-34.
Red top of the 49ers radio flagship, KNBR 680 in San Francisco, 37-34. Brock Purdy, by the way, 284 yards in this ball game and a couple of touchdowns. Coming into the game, he was the second quarterback since 1950 to start 3-0 and throw multiple touchdown passes in each of his first 3 career starts. The other guy, he's our colleague, the Hall of Famer, Kurt Warner. Purdy wins again. San Francisco wins again. They are now 12-4. Vegas is 6-10. All right. You assume that this is a revenge game, right? Everybody talked about it all week long. Seattle playing at home, trying to avoid elimination, stay alive in the playoff race, and their touching quarterback story this year, Geno Smith, taking on the team that drafted him 39th overall back in 2013, the New York Jets. Geno went out today, brought his team down the field on the first drive of the game and scored, and Seattle never looked back, winning by a score of 23-6. Geno throws for 182 yards on the day and a couple of scores. Kenneth Walker, 133 yards. He ran for 60 on the very first play of the game. And Seattle does stay alive. We'll tell you about that part in a moment. But after the game, Geno's asked, is this good revenge?
Honestly, it doesn't mean anything outside of the fact that we gave ourselves another chance to go to the playoffs. I'm actually grateful for being drafted to the NFL by the Jets. And, although things weren't, perfect there were some good times. And there are some people still there who, I hold dear to my heart. I have a lot of good relationships in New York. And so it was just another game for me. It was good seeing some old friends and, some people that we played with.
Keep it classy, Geno. Now, Seattle is in next week if they win and Green Bay loses next week to Detroit. So Seattle's looking for a win next week in their game against the Rams and a Green Bay loss, and they will make the playoffs. The Jets were eliminated today. Mike White came back, didn't have as much of the magic today. No touchdowns, couple of interceptions. Head coach Robert Saleh pretty disappointed.
Promise you no one's hurting more than the people in the locker room, especially me. But at the same time, I know it's hard to see the light at the end of the tunnel, but there's still a lot of really cool things to look at from this season. But right now, it stings big time right now.
5 losses in a row and 6 out of 7. The Jets will go into next year with the longest active playoff drought in the NFL. They last made the postseason in 2010. Detroit has made it more recently, 2016, and they're still alive to do it again. They won today at home against Chicago, 41-10. Jared Goff throws 3 touchdown passes. Jamal Williams runs for his 15th touchdown of the season. That's only one behind Barry Sanders' team record set back in 1991. And get this, Detroit for the 8th time this year scores 30 or more points in a game. That's the most in the NFL. That's more than Kansas City's done it. Buffalo, they've each done it 7 times. Detroit's done it 8. And they are alive as they head to Lambeau next week to take on the Packers. If they win and Seattle loses, Detroit will absolutely cap one of the great comeback stories ever in the National Football League by making it to the postseason. Dan Campbell's looking ahead.
I think it's just so special. It's as good as it can get. I mean, seriously, you get to go to Lambeau, historic Lambeau, where the tops in this division has been Green Bay every year for years, and to go earn your right, to potentially get in. Even if you do get that win, doesn't mean you're guaranteed to get in. I know we're guaranteed to get one more week, and so I just think this is as special as it gets. I mean, I just don't think you'd want it any other way.
Chicago got a big rushing day out of Justin Fields. What else is new? 132 yards. 105 of them came in the first quarter. They fall to 3-13 now on the season. Last playoff spot in the NFC was there for the taking for Washington coming into the day today. All they had to do was win their final 2 games, but they could also be eliminated today as well. They had the Cleveland Browns coming to town at FedEx Field, and Deshaun Watson, who had struggled to figure out a way to find his offensive footing, found enough of it today. 3 catches by Amari Cooper for 105 yards and 2 touchdowns. Watson threw 3 in all on the day, and Cleveland upsets Washington 24-10, ultimately knocking the Commanders out of the playoffs. Carson Wentz returned as the starting quarterback for Washington in this one, threw for 143 yards, ran for a score, but threw 3 huge interceptions. This was not a good day for the Washington Commanders or to be a Washington Commanders fan. They debuted a new mascot today, Major Tuddy, a pig. We'll talk about that some other time. But they end up getting knocked out of the playoff race, 7-8-1 now for the Commanders as they take on the Dallas Cowboys in a game that means a lot to Dallas next week. Still to come, more scores, highlights, and post-game reaction. Steelers win it by a score of 16-13. You're listening to Sunday Night Football on Westwood One.
This winter, Hulu and Disney Plus are better together in a brand new bundle.
That's wicked. Wicked good.
With titles like Disenchanted and Willow on Disney Plus. And Fleischman is in Trouble and Welcome to Chippendales on Hulu.
I love this place.
All for just $9.99 a month. All of these and more now streaming. 18 and over only. Access content from each service separately. Offer valid for eligible subscribers only. Terms apply. See the DisneyBundle.com for details.
So I switched to Boost Mobile and got this free Samsung Galaxy A23 5G phone.
Why do you think they call it the Galaxy?
Maybe because the Samsung Galaxy A23 has a huge screen, and galaxies are huge gravitationally bound systems of stars rotating around a supermassive black hole.
And the phone is free?
When you switch to Boost Mobile.
Cool. You lost me at gravitationally bound.
Switch to Boost and get a free Samsung Galaxy A23 5G phone. Boost Mobile. Unleash your power. Limited time offer while supplies last. New customers only. Excludes tax. 1 device offer per line. Only available on certain networks. 5G not available everywhere. Additional restrictions apply. See your local Boost Mobile store for details.
Welcome back to Sunday Night Football on Westwood One from the Progressive Insurance Studios. I'm Scott Graham. Looking for a career path with flexibility, great pay, and benefits? Go to progressive.com/careers and apply online. Bundle today at progressive.com. Steelers keep their playoff hopes alive as they knock off the Ravens 16-13. What else happened today in the National Football League? Well, one of the teams that the Steelers are chasing right now is, if you can believe this, the New England Patriots. Patriots came into today against the Miami Dolphins knowing they would be eliminated with a loss at home at Gillette Stadium. Miami had a chance to wrap up a playoff berth if they won, and the Jets lost on the road in Seattle. So you would figure a lot of the momentum could be on Miami's side. But the Dolphins had lost 4 in a row coming into this ball game, and they were doing it without their quarterback, Tua Tagovailoa, who was in the concussion protocol. This turned out to be an interesting ball game on a lot of different levels, but the New England defense is part of the reason that they are alive right now for a playoff spot and, frankly, in the driver's seat. The defense isn't only stopping the opponent, the defense is adding to their own point total.
On a 3rd and 15 snap, they rush 4. Bridgewater is back to fire it right pass. Intercepted by Duggar. Left to the 30, outside to the 20, to the 15, to the 10. Duggar to the 5. Duggar to the end zone. He took it to the house again.
There we go.
Bob Sosi and Scott Zolak, 98.5, the Sports Hub, Patriots Radio Network. Does anybody get more excited than Zoe does? New England wins this game 23-21. That's the 7th defensive touchdown for Bill Belichick's defense this year. 23-21 the final, and what it means now is New England has their destiny in their own hands. They win next week at Buffalo, and they are in the playoffs. They don't need any help. Mac Jones threw a couple of touchdown passes in this one for the Patriots as they even their record. On the other side, on that play, Teddy Bridgewater got hurt, injured his right hand, so Skylar Thompson had to come on to replace him. A lot of questions around the Miami Dolphins right now. Have lost 5 in a row. They are 8-8. They still can get in next week with a win. They would also have to have the Patriots lose in order to lock up that playoff spot. Dolphins take on the New York Jets next week in South Florida. All right, the Miami Dolphins and the New England Patriots taking care of their business. For the Kansas City Chiefs, the main order of business is to try to get the number 1 overall seed. They would do that with wins in their last 2 games and 1 Buffalo loss. First, it was the Denver Broncos coming in, and talking about a Denver Broncos team that, let's say they've struggled against Kansas City. Chiefs have won the last 14 meetings between these two teams, including earlier this year. Patrick Mahomes often has a field day against this team, but remember that Patrick Mahomes, when he faced them the first time this year, threw 3 interceptions. He threw 1 more today. The good news is he has a new secret weapon in his backfield in the latter part of this season that just keeps bailing him out.
Chiefs 20, Broncos 17. Second down, goal to go at the 3 for Mahomes. McKinnon is the running back now. He peels to the left flat. Mahomes looks there. Outside throws to McKinnon. Touchdown! Kansas City! Jerick McKinnon is a touchdown machine in the second half of the season.
Mitch Holtis, 106.5, The Wolf and the Chiefs Radio Network. Kansas City wins at 27-24. McKinnon has 8 total touchdowns in the last 5 weeks, and he's the first full-time running back with a receiving touchdown in 5 straight games since Hall of Famer Bill Dudley. You remember him. He did it in 1947. Mahomes 3 touchdown passes on the day. He's passed 5,000 yards again, multiple times now in his career. And Kansas City at 13-3 is still in line for that number 1 overall seed. They will be at Las Vegas right here on Westwood 1 on Saturday, kicking off our double-header coverage for the final Saturday in Week 18. It's Kansas City at Las Vegas, followed by Tennessee at Jacksonville. Our coverage begins at 4 p.m. Eastern Time. The lost season continues for the Denver Broncos. Russell Wilson threw for a score, ran for 2 more today, but Denver, after getting rid of their coach earlier this week, falls to 4-12 on the season. It was tune-up time for Jacksonville today in Houston, taking on the Texans, and it's exactly what they did. They kind of tuned up. Tell you what, this team is playing some tremendous football. They won 31-3 today. Total dominance of the Texans at NRG Stadium. Trevor Lawrence won the game without throwing a touchdown pass in this one. But Travis Etienne had a 62-yard touchdown run, had 108 yards total for the game. Snoop Conner got his first career touchdown, and Jacksonville improves to 8-8 on the year. Now, you've got a team that was playing a game with an eye toward the next one. They did a good job today. Their head coach, Doug Peterson, now looking ahead to next Saturday night here on Westwood 1.
This is what you play for. This is what you coach for. You know, this is what you want. You know, for your football team, you want to be in the conversation, and you want to be playing for, you know, for us, the AFC South, and we're playing a good football team. And listen, you know, we haven't done anything yet. They're still the champs until something happens.
On the other side, Houston is 2-13-1. They've got 1 more game at Indianapolis next week. Be careful what you wish for, Texans fans, because it seemed like that top draft pick has been sewn up all year long. If Houston wins at Indy next week and Chicago loses, the Bears would get the number 1 overall pick. We'll have to see how that one plays out in Week 18. It was the battle for L.A. today, the Rams and the Chargers. First time since they started sharing that cute little place they have called SoFi Stadium. Since they started sharing that as home, it's the first time they're playing each other there. The Chargers were the home team today. The Rams obviously have already been eliminated from the playoffs. The Chargers already in, but LA's playing some very good ball now as well. Justin Herbert threw a couple of touchdown passes, and Austin Eckler just continues to be Austin Eckler. 122 yards and 2 big touchdown runs as the Chargers win by a score of 31-10. They are 10-6 right now. They are locked into the playoffs. There's still a possibility they could end up moving seeding, but for right now, they'll take the 10th victory of the year. Baker Mayfield, not quite as good as he's been the last couple of times out. make that through for 132 yards on the day. Cam Akers, for the second game in a row, runs for better than 100. 19 carries and $123. The Rams are now 5-11. And Arizona and Atlanta were playing today at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Two teams had already been eliminated from playoff contention. They ended up playing a game that came right down to the wire. Younghoe Koo hit a game-winning 21-yard field goal as time expired, and Atlanta wins it by a score of 20-19. That's the first win as a starter for quarterback Desmond Ridder, who threw for 170 yards on the day today. On the other side, it was David Blau, starting for Arizona, the 64th quarterback to start in the NFL this season. He was 24 out of 40 for 222 yards and a touchdown on the day today. And, oh, by the way, J.J. Watt in his penultimate game did have a sack. Atlanta 6-10. Arizona is 4-12. We're going to wrap things up when we return. This is Westwood One's coverage of the National Football League.
You've been putting back a few, and a few becomes a few too many. For a moment, you think of calling for a ride, but nah, you live nearby. What's the worst that could happen? You get pulled over, your insurance goes up, you lose your license, you total your car, you kill someone. The results of driving drunk are tragic. That's why law enforcement is out there looking for impaired drivers to save lives. So if you think you're okay to drive after a few drinks, think again. Drive sober or get pulled over. Paid for by NHTSA.
I didn't think it was possible to meet someone like Susan. We just clicked after realizing we each have a strong sense of self and share the same core values in life.
After taking our advanced personality test, Daniel and Susan matched on Silver Singles, the secure dating site for 50-plus singles who know what they want. Sign up today at silversingles.com/meet. That's silversingles.com/meet.
8 actors representing true customer testimonials. Names have been changed.
Hey, what's up? It's Jerry Recco, and I love the Mazda CX-5. Mazda CUVs offer premium features without the premium price. During Mazda's Season of Inspiration sales event, you can experience Mazda's suite of advanced safety features like iActive all-wheel drive. Winter is here, and the Mazda all-wheel drive system is predictive rather than reactive. With 27 sensors, it constantly analyzes data and automatically adjusts before the vehicle loses traction. Experience a Mazda CX-5 today during Mazda's Season of Inspiration sales event. Visit your local Mazda dealer or MazdaUSA.com for more information.
Hey, listen up, fellas. Charles Tyrrell believes that the shirts make the man. Now, they should know Charles Tyrrell is a London-based menswear brand respected for its premium quality clothing that makes it easy to dress well for any occasion. But they're famous for their collection of over 600 all-cotton shirts that will keep you looking stylish from the boardroom to the bar and beyond. Go to ctshirts.com and get 3 shirts or polos for just $99, including shipping, using the exclusive code FAN. That's ctshirts.com, promo code FAN, or visit any one of their stores today.
The final score, Pittsburgh 16, Baltimore 13. You've been listening to Westwood One's coverage of Sunday Night Football. Tonight's broadcast has been sponsored by Bounty Paper Towels, by Barbasol Shaving Cream, by Progressive Insurance, by AutoZone, by Jack Links, and by NFL.com. I want to thank our crew for this evening. Studio coordinator Art Martinez, production assistance provided by Michael Garland, statistician Jason Yellen, our spotter Ryan Eigenbrod, engineer Albert Dale, production supervisors Aaron Cummins and Brian Finkelstein, coordinating producer Mike Eby, and the executive producer of Westwood One Sports is Howard Deneroff. Join us again tomorrow night for Monday Night Football. The Buffalo Bills at the Cincinnati Bengals. Cincinnati with a chance to wrap up the division title. Kevin Harlan and Kurt Warner have all the action. Our pregame coverage with NFL Network's Rich Eisen kicks off at 8 o'clock Eastern Time. Then on Saturday, it's a special NFL doubleheader beginning at 4 p.m. Eastern Time. The Kansas City Chiefs at the Las Vegas Raiders, and then the Tennessee Titans at the Jacksonville Jaguars for the AFC South title. That'll be followed by the final regular season game of the NFL season next Sunday night. Matchups still to be determined. You can catch all those games right here on many of these same stations on the NFL app or stream live for free on our website, WestwoodOneSports.com. Once again, our final score from Charm City, the Pittsburgh Steelers 16, the Baltimore Ravens 13. Now for Ryan Radke and Mike Golick, I'm Scott Graham. Thanks for joining us. You've been listening to Sunday Night Football on Westwood One.